I wait for someone to save. I wanna tell you something new. You drove us both into a wall. I drive away into the night and I contemplate for a while. Don't you think you wanna be for the best? If I pack my stuff and leave sooner than this. Don't you think you wanna be for the best? If I pack my stuff and leave sooner than this. Don't you wish I would've been someone else? I wanna feel your gap without making a mess at you. Won't you tell me something new? I wanna tell you something new. I wish you all the best I can, and I stop myself for a while. I'm staying faith, I don't believe the panic's rising up in you. Why won't you tell me something new? Don't you think you wanna be for the best? If I pack my stuff and leave sooner than this. Don't you think you wanna be for the best? If I pack my stuff and leave sooner than this. Don't you wish I would've been someone else? I wanna feel your gap without making a mess at you. Why won't you tell me something new? I wanna tell you something new. You drove us both into a wall.
There it is. There it is.
There it is.
There it is right there. Very good, sir. What's up, Jim?
Amazon is sending it to you, darling.
Can't wait.
Oh, yeah, I gotta get more lively.
My God.
They're fighting, man.
Holy cow.
Jesus Christ.
Jeffrey, I say we keep the show running for a long time now, right?
Yeah, right?
Formally, I'd like to congratulate your new sergeant, Jeffrey Gamer.
What?
You just got sergeant, bro.
Are you serious?
Yo, man. That's so
Wow, man. Holy shit. To you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Baskin.
Here we go. Holy shit! Holy shit! Holy shit! Holy shit! Holy shit! Go to it! Go to it! Go to it! What? Fucking go, boy! Go! Go!
Wow.
Go!
I really appreciate you guys having me on here, man, and I look forward to the podcast next week.
Absolutely,
Talking more with you guys.
Yeah,
And
man.
You guys, this is a great opportunity, man, and I'm very blessed to have definitely to be able to get in contact with you guys. It's awesome.
Niche. You know what? English. Who cares? What are you laughing at, CJ?
My wife sent me something, man.
She's always sending him something. Like she tries to get him to laugh on camera.
I think she does it on purpose. I think you got your work cut out for you, brother.
Be prepared.
No, guys, thank you very much. Cookies, Criminal Justice, Jeffrey Gamer, thank you guys very much for having me. It's been an absolute blast. We've gone way over time, but, you know, time flies when you are having fun.
Driving on the road like I'm the only one. Shooting to the green, I talk a hole in one. Bible on the dash, they with the holy wine. I know I put in work, they didn't notice none. Switch gears, clubhouse, took me 6 years, marble floors, gold trim, feel like I'm Richie Rich, Italian leather, French suede, I mix the fist sick, quick laws, take a risk. We play for
What is up, amazing, beautiful people? How is everybody doing today? How is everybody doing on this beautiful Sunday afternoon, ladies and gentlemen?
Let's go, Buffalo.
Let's go, Buffalo, baby. Let's go, Buffalo. Knocking New England out the playoffs. We'll see you next year, New England. Bye. See you, New England. How is everybody doing? Big shout out to all the sponsors up in the chat. Look at all the sponsors up in the chat. We got Matt West. We got Limitless Sam. We got our boy Hashtag Hell.
Damn, it feels
up
good
in
to
the
be a
house. What is up,
gangster.
Hashtag? I know
A real
there's a lot of
gangster ass
sound
nigga
going
plays
on
his
right
cards
now.
right.
But that's okay. We got Olivia here. NTK Hulk is also
fucking game.
up in the house. And I believe that's it. Gamer J is here. What's up, Gamer J? Everybody else up in here. We got an amazing show lined up for everybody tonight. And that is GMAntonZ is up in the house tonight. This guy hit over 300,000 subscribers. 300,000 subscribers he hit. That is fucking huge, ladies and gentlemen. That is absolutely huge. We got a big show. We got a big show lined up for y'all. And who knows who's going to pop up? Who knows who's going to pop up? The last time Anton was on, we had King Crane pop in. Somebody with over 3 million subscribers. 3 million subscribers. Hey, Officer Israel, good to see you're doing better, man. Metra, Alexander, Q Ball, Stu Dorman, what is going on? Captain Clay, hello. Gamertron is here. Top of the security for Meet the Gamers. Christian Ellis, what is up? Ollie's Training Gaming, what is going on? Firefighter and Ham Radio. I'm trying to get through everybody because I really need to get up in the chat here. All right, so let's shoot on over to the studio. Let's undeafen ourselves and let's link up with AntonZ. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's pop on over to the studio and let's have a chat with AntonZ. I will see y'all over there.
Free?
There we go. Oh, CJ's muted. I'm sitting here like I don't have any sound. What's going on here? What's up,
I should
Anton?
probably turn my camera on.
Yeah, that would help. I mean, your avatar is just as handsome, but
Oh, I thought I had it on. I thought I had it on in the other chat. Hold on a second. I know how to use Discord.
it does. But when you switch channels, it'll. Oh yeah, that's. All right, ladies and gentlemen, AntonZ, what a great show that was. There he is.
Okay, hold on. My Discord crashed on me. Hold on.
He's coming, ladies and gentlemen. He's coming. Don't worry. He's coming.
Oh, my goodness. I swear. Okay,
I
here we
know.
go.
There he is. Hey.
Yes. There we go. We're live. What's going on, everybody? I'm
This is
here. I have arrived.
Anton's 10th appearance on Meet the Gamers.
10th. Oh, my goodness.
Second.
Were the
Right?
rest of
Or
them
third?
while I was sleepwalking? Because I don't remember it.
Oh yeah,
10 times.
we had somebody come over to your house and they were recording you while you were sleeping. So
Oh, great.
yeah,
Great.
there was somebody like hidden in your room that was like kind of doing your voice for you, and they were good shows. You got
Oh, well,
Yeah.
there you go.
Speaking of that, you know, I'm
if
going to
I can only
ask.
now have someone do all my videos like
Yeah,
that,
right.
then I don't even have to do anything, you know?
I'm going to ask you, Anton, when's the new studio tour coming out?
Soon.
Because I asked you that last time and you said the same thing.
Soon.
that's his answer.
I would
So-
love to see the new. Yeah, I would love to see, because I know that you've moved to a new house. I would love to see the new studio tour. I think everybody would.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to like change a couple of things, and you know, you sort of get into like this. What's the word I'm looking for? You know, you kind of get into this thing where you're like, oh, you know, I'll do the studio tour as soon as I do this one thing, and then
Hey,
you're
Miss
like,
Darcy
oh, maybe
J
if I
is
can
here. What's
also
up, Miss
add
Darcy
this
J?
on, and like, oh, maybe if I can upgrade this, right? And before you know it, it's like a year later, and I'm like, oh, I really haven't done the studio tour, and I've been like trying to, you know, fix that, fix this. I'm like, if only I can do all of the cabling, so it's not like a huge mess down, down here.
Hey,
right?
what's
So
up, Falcon?
You keep wanting to like do all of these different things, and then I never get around to it. But soon,
Yeah.
I will do the studio. This year I will do, because I want to title it now 2023 Studio Tour.
Yeah,
That's
you
gonna
inspired
There you
people
go.
to do it. I'm telling you, inspired me to do the whole studio tour. A lot of my studio, and I don't like copying people. I like being inspired by people. So a lot of when I was doing my studio was Anton. Like I wanted color, I wanted white, and you know what I mean, because it just blends well, and
Right? Yeah.
yeah. So
You gotta have like little pops of color and stuff. I mean, there's people that also like have green screen, and then there's just
yeah,
green screen
nothing wrong.
behind them.
Nothing wrong with a green screen.
Nothing wrong with that, right? But I feel like if you wanted to do like a full-on, webcam like I do in like my videos and streams, and you want to have some sort of a background, have like some pops of color in there, whatever it is, whether it's like lighting, like now you guys have to, right? Or if you want to have like, whatever, something in the back, like, I got my, Lego, the poster, or the
I love that
the
Lego
Enterprise
setup.
thing back there, right? Yeah, it's
I like the lights on the wall you have too, the little round or octagon lights that you have back to the octagon shaped lights, like a stop sign.
Yeah. Those are the oh my god, now it's escaping
I just
me.
saw 'em.
Nanoleaf.
Yes, Nanoleaf.
Yeah.
How do they mount on the wall? Is it like some kind of two-sided tape, or how does that mount?
That's what it is. It's like sticky tape. You essentially like just mount right with sticky tape. Good luck taking them off.
Oh yeah,
They will
You're-
bring
you're-
down,
hard to get
like,
off.
yeah. You're sanding, and you're painting over.
pretty much, right? If not
Yeah.
even like putting up brand new drywall, because like these things are gonna rip off the entire wall. If I try to take them off right now, it's like the whole wall will just basically get ripped off down to the
Oh,
studs,
wow.
basically, right?
Yeah, they're there for a while.
If this house ever gets sold, they're just gonna stay on the wall. They're just gonna be like part of the house. Enjoy my lights.
Yeah.
I'll take everything else, but those things are staying up there, for you.
I wonder how far you
Yeah,
live from me. Is
yeah.
it worth the drive? I'll come get them if you ever sell the house.
You want to fly to Canada?
I'll drive. I love driving. I mean,
Ontario, right? You're from Ontario?
Ontario, yeah, I'm in Toronto, right?
Yeah.
So not too far from the border. We're about like
No.
2 hours away from Buffalo.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's only about a 3-hour ride.
I keep up with you, man.
Can I come visit you?
Yeah.
I'll vlog it. Is that weird? Was that a weird question, chat? That was weird.
I mean, a little bit.
It was a little forward.
No, it wasn't.
I mean,
It's
No,
like, can I
was it?
come visit you? I'm only 3 hours away.
you
I've
guys, I
already-
gotta go. My mom is calling me. I gotta go.
How cool would it be to meet Anton in person?
I
though?
know,
How cool would
I
that be
know.
to meet Anton in person? That would be
I
just
said
like,
I said I would meet people in person when I hit 1 million subscribers. So
You told us
know.
you would
do
tell us
like a
the
little
origin.
meet and greet for your subscribers. That would be really cool, man. They
you know
would
what
love that.
I would like totally love to do at some point, to even be able to like go and go to like different parts of the world and stuff, or all over United States, and just kind of meet people, not necessarily like huge meet and greets, but or even like go to one of those Comic-Con or whatever it is, one of those events, and just be able to meet some fans there. I think that would be kind of cool. I've never done anything like that before, but you never know.
I
maybe
think
one
you're
day.
big
Man,
enough to
you
do
would
a
have
meet
a
and
house
greet.
full, dude. You would, because the way that your chat, like when you go live, you have
Hey, what's up, Uncle Scott? How you doing?
sometimes 2 to 3, maybe sometimes 400 people watching you at a time.
Teddy? Who's
So
Teddy?
I would almost guarantee
Moon
if you
Demon is up in
came
the house.
to America and if you came to the States here where we are in the surrounding areas, you would probably pack a house, definitely. You would definitely pack a house.
Without a doubt.
I mean,
I think you're at
Or
that
at
level.
least like a coffee shop or something. I'd love to pack a coffee shop.
I'd be
yeah,
there.
there you go.
Yeah.
I'd
I
be
would.
there.
Yeah, I would. It'd be worth the money for me to just drive or fly, or well, I don't know if I'd fly, but I would definitely drive.
You wouldn't fly for me. You would not fly for me.
I don't know about flying, man. I've never been on a plane.
How do I disconnect from this thing?
You already know how. You already did it.
You know what's funny is that I have a fear of flying
There's
on
the beautiful
planes,
Miss
but I
Gamer
would
right
love
there.
to take
Hello,
a
love.
helicopter
What
ride.
is
Yeah, I would
going
love
on?
to take a helicopter. I don't know what it is, but I would love to take a helicopter ride. And once a year down here, we have a thing called Summerfest here where I live.
Big shout out to
And they'll give
Catherine.
helicopter
Catherine
rides. It's
Stewart.
like
How you doing,
$35
Catherine?
ticket
Hello,
to pay,
hello.
And they take you around
What's
the
up,
city, which our
Liam
city's
Ashton?
like a one-horse town, so
AKA
it's not very
Ashton,
big, but
go
they take
Buffalo,
you around
baby.
the entire city.
Nice.
And I have yet to get on that helicopter and do that. And a lot of it's due to probably because I have kids and I would just like to get in the chopper myself and just fly around the city just to see what's like. But planes scare me to death. I don't know
Me
why.
too.
Maybe it's
I've
because it's
never
so
flown.
enclosed.
I've never flown, and it scares me.
I
I always
really-
think of the Richie Valens story, right? That's me. Like, guys afraid of dying on a plane, and the one time that he gets on a plane and he dies, I just feel like that's waiting for me to happen.
Yeah, but I think statistically, though, flying on a plane is,
That's
I think,
true.
more safer than like driving
They
a
say
car.
that.
So
They
the
say that.
chances, you know.
But you have more of a
If you think
chance
about it,
of
like how many planes are up in the air and stuff, and I think like, you know, and I'm like a big plane nerd, right? So I know like a lot when it comes to planes and stuff. And back in, you know,
Hey, what's up,
back in,
James?
like, the
What's up,
60s
Garrett?
and
What's
the
going on,
70s when
James?
those
How you
things
doing,
were
buddy?
Sort of just starting to fly commercially, or like it was really booming. I mean, back then it was like getting into a death trap, really, because it's like you didn't know if you were gonna land, right? So I think now, like modern day aviation with all the modern day planes, I mean, the chances of it going down is significantly less than before. And as a matter of fact, like if you actually start reading about all of the technologies they have on a plane now, like all of like the wind shear warning, that wind shear warning system came from an air crash because an aircraft experienced, well, something they've never experienced before, ended up crashing. And then the investigation found out that it was basically wind shear, and they were able to develop a system to alert pilots that it's happening, and they would be able to basically, you know, get out of it before stuff like that. So it's like a lot of the safety systems and a lot of like the systems now employed by modern day aircraft were developed based on all the crashes and stuff that happened back in like the 60s and 70s. Because like I said, back then it was like you were getting into a death tube because you were literally flying by the seat of your pants, hoping that you'll make it to your destination. Because a lot of these aircraft were just not equipped as they are now, right? So I wouldn't fly back then probably, but I would definitely fly now.
You ever think about? Do you pilot? Do you ever think about piloting?
You know, I thought of it.
I mean, as
right?
much flying as you do in GTA, you should have it down to a T by now.
Yeah,
Anton.
you know.
I remember your airport
All
video.
the,
I
all the
remember
Back
him.
to the Future cars that you're flying around.
Yeah,
and-
yeah. landing
Although-
blimps in the middle of Mirror Park. Like, yeah, dude. Like, you
Yeah.
can totally fly.
Well, if
Some
you
of my
watch-
favorites are the Back to the Future episodes that you do. I love those episodes, man.
Yeah, I haven't actually done like Back to the Future, like using the time machine one recently.
Hey, what's up, Monsieur Baxter?
Although
Is in the
I
house. What's up,
alluded to
man?
it, or I did something similar in like an intro of one of the episodes. But yeah, if you watch like the pilot series where I'm like flying around with Walter all the time, it's pretty much, it's really not so much me flying. It's basically every episode there's a crash episode, right? It's like I'm just crashing. Like today's video, I'm crashing yet again, right? So it's like it's more like a airplane crash series as opposed to like me flying. Right?
I remember
Walter's voice is the way that you do Walter's voice is so funny. I love the whole thing that he's your partner, and then you talk to him on the phone, and he's always your go-to guy, and then you guys are kind of arguing. Yeah, you guys are always arguing here in between skits. It's really funny.
And Bob
man.
too, isn't
Walter.
Bob the other guy? Isn't Bob like the guy that's always messing shit up and
Yeah, Bob.
always?
Yeah, so like, and every series basically has that central character, right? So Walter is like the central character or partner in the pilot series. Bob is the character in the towing series. Eunice and then you got Sarge and Karen are part of like the cop series, the police series that I do. And then in the firefighter series, it's the chief. I don't think we ever discovered what his actual first name was, but his last name is Shirley. And then in the taxi series, it's me and my robotic dog from the future, Hubert. So every series got like a central sort of buddy character that I kind of team up with, and sometimes there'll be a bit of a crossover. Like we'll see Bob in like a pilot episode, or we'll see Bob in like a police episode. But I almost treat it as like different worlds. So like if I see Bob when I'm playing as a cop, I don't technically know who he is because I'm a police officer. I'm not like the tow truck driver.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily be like, oh hey Bob, how's it going? What's going on? Like I kind of treat him as like I don't know, just some tow guy, right? That kind of shows up.
Right.
But I try to put him in there. Or like Walter will appear in like a towing episode, and I kind of try to put it in there like as a little, I guess, Easter egg, so people will see, be like, oh my God, that's Walter, right? Like, oh, that's, he's up to something, right? Or there's something going on with, Bob when they're watching one of my towing episodes and they see Bob do some crazy thing, right? So hopefully the fans will appreciate that and kind of be like, yeah, there's Bob, or there's Walter, or there's, whoever.
Yeah.
Nick
Bob.
wanted me to ask you, Anton. He said, "Ask Anton ask him, has he ever
Jesus,
thought?
CJ, you okay?
Have you ever thought of joining a 5M server and role playing GT5?
I have actually been part of.
SLRP.
I have been part of. I see what you did there. I have been part of previous communities in the past. It's just that, like, whenever I tried that sort of content, I could never, I guess, find my voice in. I don't mean it, like literally, obviously I could, role play and do some like scenarios and stuff, but it was difficult to like figure out what the content is and how, like, I guess, to lay it out and what the storyline, because you know me, like I like to build the storyline.
Yeah, he
with my
does
videos
hash.
and stuff, right? So I always sort of struggled with 5M content, and whenever I have tried to do it in the past, various variations of it, it never really sort of worked out for me. So I kind of stayed away from it. That being said, too, it's also the time commitment that gets me as well, because like, I don't really, I just, unfortunately, I just don't have the time to like just, be part of like regular, patrol nights or stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So that's where like it becomes a challenge, because then I also feel like I'm taking advantage if I'm just going to hop on and make a quick video and then you won't see me again for another 2 weeks, right? Then I'm like taking advantage of the community as opposed to being an active member of the community.
Yeah, SLRP, they're pretty good.
Right.
They're pretty good with, a lot of people get the misconception that, at least with SLRP, that they require you to be on every patrol. I've had a lot of people say, I just don't have time to be committed to that. And it's like,
I go in once a week.
Yeah,
I go in once a week.
once a week. As long as you play once every 2 weeks, they really don't mind, because,
Yeah.
but, anything after 2 weeks. And folks, I put up a thing that says drop your questions for Anton. If I don't get to your question, ask it again in like 5 minutes. I am writing them down. I will start with Ashton. Ashton, a.k.a. Ashton, wants to know, what's your best advice for growing an audience?
Best advice, I get asked that question a lot in various
That's a
different
good question.
forums. Yeah, and I think there's a lot of different answers to it. It depends which direction you want to go, and sort of what you want to focus on, right? So it's a sort of a loaded question, I guess, is how I would put it. I suppose it depends, I guess, what you're trying to do and what you're trying to focus on, like in terms of growing an audience. For somebody that's maybe is just starting out, right? It's just, I would say just start putting out content out there, because a lot of people are like, oh, I gotta have like my first video has got to be like the best video, and I need to do this, and before I can do it, and I need to do that, and I need to set up my full studio, and it's like, just trust me. I mean, I've been doing YouTube for a long time, and I look back at some of my previous videos, and I thought they were good, and they're not really that great. So
Mine are awful.
I say well, that's the thing. Everybody starts off, and I think everybody is awful, to be honest with you. I look at some of my videos right now, and I'm like, oh, that's awful. So just start putting out content out there. If you're just starting off, just get your first video out, get your second video out, just start building that library. You're gonna start getting better and better and better. Right,
so you just got to do it. You just got to do it,
and it gets easier.
You just got to step out on a limb and do it,
and it gets easier. You get easier. You start to get fluent with, streaming software and editing videos and modding your game.
Perfect.
It really does. When I started out, everybody knows
I'm so sorry, guys.
Bless you. Everybody knows that's Cookies. I stole that from Cooks. Everybody knows the Vinewood sign video I had. It was my very first video. I knew.
God, I remember that.
Dude, I knew nothing. I had a freaking $12 PlayStation headset from Walmart with the mouthpiece, and it was just so bad. But just learning and doing and learning and doing. Next thing you know, you're just growing, and it's
right.
And you're over 300,000, dude. Congratulations! You did tell us that if you ever hit over 300,000, you'd tell us about your name.
Thank you, guys.
Are you gonna?
Yeah, no, it was 1 million.
Shut up, CJ.
It was 1 million. He said at 1 million subs, he might. He might tell us what the GM.
He might. Last time he was on, we had the chat trying to guess what his name means, but nobody had it right.
Hey, listen, I got 1.2 million on TikTok, but I never made any promises about TikTok.
No,
so...
it was TikTok. You did say TikTok.
No.
You post on there. You post on there quite a bit. I'm going to ask you, Anton, because I recently found a program called CrossClip. Do you use that?
No, I've never heard of that one before. No.
Okay, so it's pretty much There's a free version, but you can pay like $5 a month to remove the watermark and to edit your video however
That's a
you
good
want.
question
And what
right
it does,
there,
it takes
Hash.
your.
That's a good question.
You grab your clips from your YouTube channel, right? And you put your link to your clip into this cross clip website.
Okay.
And it allows you to adjust the aspect ratio. So you know how when you
Right.
post a TikTok, your webcam is directly above your video?
Yep.
So it does that for you. So
Oh, okay.
and it's like $5 a month. I just found it a few days ago and I love it. I've recently been posting like videos on my YouTube shorts. I've done some on TikTok. I've posted some on Instagram. But I was wondering what you use to do your TikTok videos. Like what kind of software do you use?
The same I do for my actual videos.
Oh, there you go, Cue Ball. He just asked your
So the
question.
thing with TikTok, and this is for people that ask
Don
me about
Mitch, what's
advice for
poppin', Don
TikTok
Mitch?
is I never posted anything that I took from my episodes, right? So it was like what I make for TikTok is like original content essentially, right? So so tomorrow I'm gonna record 7 TikToks for the rest of the week coming up. And I pretty much do that on a weekly basis, and I'll record TikToks. I'll record specifically for TikTok, right? So I'll come up with like different little TikToks, record them, and then like I do with my videos, and then essentially end up editing them in Premiere, and then exporting them as as files, and then putting them on to TikTok. Sometimes I will use ideas, I guess, from episodes. Like for example, I did like an episode about stealing a Coca-Cola truck. So then I kind of did a TikTok sort of similar, stealing a Coca-Cola truck. But it wasn't like directly from the episode. Like I didn't reuse any of the content. And I find that if you sort of want to be successful on TikTok, I would recommend trying like original content or recording specifically for TikTok as opposed to like reusing previous
like clips and stuff.
clips
Got
and
you.
stuff.
Got you.
Good
Yeah.
advice.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Because
I
the
might
thing is with
do that.
TikTok too, like you have to almost it's really hard to take existing videos that are like long form videos as they're called on YouTube, to take these longer videos and try to either cut out a bit or something. Like the thing is with TikTok, like you really have to think about the retention, and there is really no time. Like the viewer will make a decision within about a second of your video popping up on TikTok whether they're gonna watch the next 3 seconds.
Right.
So you sort of have to you have to create TikToks with that in mind, I think, as opposed to just kind of saying, oh, I'm going to take one of my LSPDFR episodes and maybe let me cut out this part where there's like a gunfight happening, right, or something like that, right? Whereas like with TikTok, and if you watch some of my TikToks, you sort of try to hook them in rather quickly or come up with some sort of a cool idea that they can see right away, and then kind of build towards whatever the final shot of the TikTok is. But yeah, I find with TikTok, like if you're creating content specifically for TikTok, then you're kind of thinking about like, okay, if this comes up on somebody's phone, like what are they watching? What's going to happen? The first second, the second second, the third second. Whereas if you're sort of just taking a piece of a previous video, then you don't necessarily have that mindset, I guess, right, where you're kind of thinking about the viewer, right? So at least that's how it was for me, right? So I've now done, God, what is it now? 600 and some odd.
Hey, what's up,
TikToks,
Michael Tingley?
I think, and they were all
you've
like,
got quite
Hash
a few
is,
over there. I'm following you on
yeah.
TikTok. You've got quite
Hash
a few over
is
there.
a
You got quite a few. So when you do your TikToks,
he is a
in
special
your editor, you said you use
guest
Adobe Premiere Pro.
host.
Is that what
Yep.
you use, Adobe? So
Special
initially, you
guest
just switch the aspect ratio around, right, in your video to make it TikTok worthy.
Pretty much, yeah. Like you set up your canvas, I guess, or the sequence size, right, to be instead of 19.
Take care,
1920
Catherine.
by 1080. You do
Hey, what's
it,
up,
you do
red
it the other
lighting?
way, 1080 by
The
1920.
opposite,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that gives you that sort of narrow thing. Now, when I record the actual, like, I mean, my camera will be recorded as my camera, right, and I end up sizing it down a little bit. The game footage, I still record like normal, regular aspect, but while editing, I sort of move that 1920 by 1080, or in my case, I record in 1440p. So I end up taking that 1440p file, which is what 2560 by whatever the resolution is for
2560
1440p.
by 1440.
Yeah, right. And I basically end up within Premiere Pro, kind of like moving it around if need be to make sure that what what is happening is what I want people to see, right? So,
Right.
yeah. So, like for example, if I'm trying to show, that I have like a wanted level, then obviously I'm gonna position it and zoom in on like the stars that appear at the very top of the screen. But otherwise, if it's just showing like the middle of the screen, you'd never see the stars, right? Because they would never really appear. in
Oh,
that-
gotcha. Okay. Well, that's good advice.
right.
I might start just making a few TikToks for the week like that. That's
Do you think
that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Do you think it's important for people to make TikToks and shorts and whatever else that is specific to their channel? Or do you think if somebody who has an LSPDFR 5M channel making TikToks about their funny dog, not, acceptable, I guess, or as popular?
Everything is acceptable. I suppose it depends like what you're trying to do, right? And I guess the way that you're trying to approach it, are you trying to approach it as I am building another channel, essentially, right? I'm building another place where you can watch more of my content, or am I building more of a fan community, behind the scenes,
I gotcha.
glimpse into my life type of thing, right? And maybe in some cases it's worth even having maybe two different, TikToks, right? Where you can have like a dedicated, gaming TikTok where there's more content that people can find. And then you have another TikTok that's kind of like behind the scenes where you can do pictures of your dog and, or videos of your dog and your parrot and, you in the studio or whatever it is, right? So I wouldn't maybe necessarily mix the two on like one channel, right? I would maybe split it up into like different channels. You'll see a lot of YouTubers do that as well. I also kind of do that too. I do upload my TikToks also onto YouTube Shorts, but I do that on a separate channel that I've set up. So I don't upload them on my like main GMAntonZ channel, right? So
Your
I
YouTube
have, like, a
short
second
channel. Yeah.
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 Okay.
Yeah, I just put my shorts on my main channel, but I've already got two channels. I've got the main channel, then I've got my farming channel,
Right.
where I do my farming simulator related content, and then but I do have two TikTok accounts, one for the main, one for my farming channel. I've got two Instagrams, same thing. But yeah, the cross clip I thought was really cool because it allows you to grab those clips, and even if you want to record, like you said, original content and upload it privately just for yourself, and then go grab the link and then edit it, in that cross clip, and then throw it on a TikTok as original content. I think that, but I'll link it to you, Anton. I'll link the cross clip
check
to
it
you.
out. I mean, it's always cool to kind of see all the different apps that are out there because you never know what you might end up using them for, right?
Yeah, there could be something that can save
quick.
you. It could save you 30 minutes to an hour. Some apps out there that just take all the work for you. And
this one's amazing. I love cross clip.
I'm gonna check that. I'm gonna check that out. Falcon 204 says, and just think,
Hey,
Anton.
Falcon.
He said Anton wasn't really even wanting to get on TikTok. LOL.
No.
It took my stepdaughter to twist his wrist to get on it.
It sure did. It sure did. It sure did. Falcon. So Falcon is and he's one of my mods on my channel. I'm sure a lot of people that are familiar with my channel know him. He's in Discord with us as well.
I
and-
will be soon. I will be a mod soon on there. Still
Well,
fighting for that position.
Maybe next year. Maybe next year we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was funny because I mean, I knew about TikTok and I was like, oh, okay, great, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat. Well, what else is there? All these, MySpace, all these social networks or whatever they are.
Oh my God,
And,
Dangle was
and
hilarious.
I was having conversation with Falcon, and like he said, his stepdaughter was like, listen, he really needs to get onto TikTok. That's where all the kids are, all the audiences are kind of hanging out, right? And he needs to get on there, upload his videos, and I think she saw a couple of gamers as well that kind of like, I guess, blew up, right? That were uploading, clips and ended up building a big audience on TikTok, right? So yeah, and for whatever reason, whenever we had that conversation, it sort of struck me, and I was like, you know what? Maybe Falcon, is right. Maybe they are onto something, and especially if it's coming from somebody younger, right, who's kind of into TikTok and really understands the space and stuff. Maybe she is onto something. Maybe she knows more than I do when it comes to this TikTok stuff. And if she thinks I should do it, then maybe I will do it. So I just decided to let's make it happen. And let's start making some videos. And I started making some videos, and all of a sudden, I kind of saw the success and the growth, and all of a sudden, one of my TikToks was like 100,000 views, and then I uploaded another one, and it was like another 100,000 views, and I was like, all right, let's do this. So, like I said, now it's like 600 some odd TikToks later, 1.2 million followers on TikTok, and I guess now I'm a TikToker.
And you make money. I'm not asking how much, but you make money having that many followers on TikTok, right? Is it a? Do you make money?
I mean, you can get monetized on there, right?
Not really. Well, first of all, Canada gets the shaft when it comes to TikTok. So our monetization, I think you can monetize a lot easier on TikTok in the United States. But then the problem is, even if you are monetized on TikTok, we're talking like millions and millions of views before you sort of see any tangible dollars. So to answer your question, yes, you can make money on TikTok. The best way to go about it is to basically make sponsored TikToks, right? So I've done a few of those where essentially a brand approaches you, says, we're going to pay you X amount of dollars to put a sponsored TikTok about our video game, about our product.
Oh, that's cool.
Like, for example, I did a Takis TikTok a few months ago, and they basically pay you to make more or less an ad that you then put in front of in front of your audience on.
Is
on
it good
TikTok.
money?
So that's
Is it good money
the
that
best.
they pay you?
It varies, right? It varies based on the opportunity, right? Some opportunities they'll lowball you. Some opportunities are, I think they're pretty good for a 15-second, 20-second video.
Yeah.
Right? You can walk away with, in some cases,
that
a
is
few
pretty cool.
$1,000s. It's like, why the hell not?
Wow, really? Just a few second video?
Right, but you gotta
Clark Reed
build
up
the
in the house.
audience.
What's
That's
up, Clark? How you
that's the
doing, buddy?
trick, right? You got to build up like that audience, and of course they want to look at all the different analytics and stuff, like in terms of what your demographics are, because they're obviously looking to hit like certain segments, right? So if you sort of have those key demographics when it comes to specifically age, their location, whether they're male, female, right? That obviously will drive a lot of like the advertising decisions. But if you can kind of hit that sweet spot, then yeah, there's obviously some opportunities to be had, right? And the more followers you have, the bigger your following, the more opportunities you can get for like sponsored videos. Yeah.
Yeah. Cooks, does your chat have any questions? I feel like CJ and I are taking all
No, that's all good. We did have one earlier. I believe we covered it in like every other time that you've been on, Anton. But someone asked, what made you become a YouTuber?
Yeah, I think I told you guys this story, but I'm more than happy to tell it again. Yeah, it was, and I'm not afraid to admit it was actually Jeff Fabiano. I'm sure
it's Jeffrey Gamer. I corrected you last time.
Oh yeah, sorry.
You're saying his last name wrong, man.
Yeah. Let me.
How do you say
it? Gamer.
It's Jeff Fabiano.
Yeah.
No, it's Jeff Gamer.
I see what you're trying to do.
There you go.
You see what he's trying to do over there? You see what he's trying to do? Yeah.
Sorry, no, it's Jeff Fabiano.
Jeff Fabiano. It was. I came across. I don't even know what I was looking for or whatever it was. I came across one of his videos when he was playing, obviously, LSPDFR back then, and I was like, oh, cool. I didn't even know what LSPDFR was. I was like, oh, cool. Look at this. I can't believe that Rockstar has finally put in like this police modification into the game, because I never knew it existed. I've always, back in the day before all the mods and stuff, you always kind of used to roleplay. You steal a police car, you kind of drive around the city a little bit, pretend you're answering calls, or pretend you're like pulling people over, responding to a call. I remember back in the days, if you guys I'm sure can recall GTA San Andreas. So that was the one with CJ, and that one, right, where you had like all the three cities. You had the Los Santos. I'm gonna test my memory here. You had Los Santos, San Fierro, I want to say Fierro, something like that.
Yeah, I think
and
Fierro.
Then Las Venturas, right? That was like Las Vegas essentially, right? So you had like San Francisco, Los Angeles, Las Vegas. So GTA San Andreas, and again before the mods and stuff, what I used to love to do is get a
Robert,
police car,
what's up,
steal a
Robert
police
McBride?
car,
What's going
and then
on,
you
baby?
would turn on the chaos mod.
That's
so
my boy right
everybody's,
there,
like,
Robert
attacking everybody,
McBride.
and things are blowing up everywhere.
Yeah.
And then I would pretend I was like a cop in that situation, and my goal was to like evacuate the mayor of the city, to the airport or whatever it is, right? And you're like racing through the streets as things are blowing up around you.
Well, that's where it all started, right there, man.
I guess so, right? So I always used to like role play with stuff like that in the game, and then anyway, so I played all the GTA's, and I haven't played Grand Theft Auto for a while, and I was like I said on YouTube looking at something, and then I came across one of his videos, and I was like, oh, well, that's cool. And then I started watching some more videos, and I quickly realized that this was not something that Rockstar put in the game. This was something that people have made called LSPDFR. And Jeff was playing the mod, and then I started looking at other videos, coming across all, some of these other YouTubers. I think I saw one of Ace Pilot's videos as well, where he's playing with all the different police cars and having all of these different calls. So I really got into that, and then
Go Bills,
eventually
baby.
I was like, wow,
You know it.
if they're having all this fun playing
Hey, Game of
LSPDFR, why
24/7
can't
Christmas,
I
Barney, what's going
have
on?
all this fun and play LSPDFR as well? And maybe people will watch me, and they'll watch me do some crazy police calls and get into all sorts of crazy, sticky situations. So I was like, yeah, I think that would be a lot of fun. Let's go buy some equipment. Let's set it all up. Let's figure it all out. I didn't even know how to record. I was like, how do I record I record my computer and what I'm doing?
Yeah, that
and
was
then
me.
Record,
That was me.
YouTube literally taught me how to be a streamer. YouTube taught me.
Yeah,
100%.
exactly.
YouTube taught me. You taught me how to play LSPDFR. 1,000,000%. CJ takes that trophy. How I know everything in LSPDFR is to that man right there. But as far as like setting up Streamlabs and microphones and how do I get this video to play, even how do I use I didn't even know how to like set shit up on 2 monitors. I had to look all that up, and everything was on.
Then you get into like capture cards and sound and everything like that, and I didn't know anything about anything, right? So
and we still teach each other,
Oh yeah,
we still teach each
Daily.
other things daily. And Hash had a good question. Speaking of your subscriber count, first I keep getting Falcon keeps telling me that you must bring Teddy on the show, and secondly, Hash says
we'll see if he comes around.
See if he comes around. And Hash says, #Hal says, at what number of subs did you say to yourself, I can do this, and this is something I'm going to pursue? And yeah, that's a really good question, because a lot of people, even at 300, 400, 500 subs, 600 subs, even I've seen people at 1,000 hit the 1,000 mark, and then just leave. They
give up, man.
You work so hard to get there, but at what point were you thinking, I'm going to just stick with this and I'm going to keep going?
That is a good question. I mean, I've always kind of, I guess, stuck with it.
Yeah.
And there's been some challenges in the process, in the way.
Which there always will be. Always.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah.
There's so many times when I'm like, that's it, it's done, it's over, I quit, and never again. And here we are, 300,000 later. I don't know. I don't know if there was necessarily a moment that like sort of clicked for me, was like, okay, that's it, now we got to get serious about it, right? I think I always wanted to like be serious about it, and always wanted to sort of grow the channel. I think when I hit about and there's again no exact number, but I think as I was coming up to 1,000 or somewhere around 1,000 is when I started to realize, like, okay, like this is actually, working, right? Like I thought, oh, maybe, I'll do this, and a few people can subscribe, and we'll sort of see what happens. And then maybe as it was coming up around that 1,000 mark, where you're like, all of a sudden you're thinking, oh my God, like 1,000 people have actually subscribed to this. And I started realizing, like, okay, maybe people do enjoy what I'm doing here, or they find it funny, or whatever the case might be, and maybe I should, kind of continue at least to do it, and maybe explore like different opportunities, explore in terms of like content and what else I can do, and how I can get better myself and stuff, right?
Did you ever see yourself at 300,000 and growing? I mean, dude, I think by this time next year, I think you're going to be damn near 1 million subs. I think you're going to grow exponentially throughout 2023, and I could honestly sit
Fingers
here.
crossed. I hope.
I think so. I think so.
100%.
You grow so fast, man. You grow so fast. Somebody named Sphinx Solar, which I know very well, asked me to ask you, Anton, if you remember.
You know it, Wally.
I remember him.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Years since you were around 60K.
Yep. I remember him. I haven't seen him in a while. So Sphinx, what's going on? I have not seen him in a while. But and it's it's funny. People ask me like, Anton, do you remember me? Because they'll come onto the live stream and be like, do you remember me? And there's a lot of people that I actually do remember, and I never like lie about it. I don't just say it to butter people up like, oh yeah, I remember you. Some people I say no, I don't remember you. But yeah, Sphinx Solar, he was a regular. Back in the day, I remember.
Hey, what's up,
pretty much every
Sentinel? How
live
you doing?
stream. He was there, so I do remember him. There's a lot of people that, that's the nature of YouTube. There's a lot of people that used to watch me, and then they stopped watching me for whatever reason. Maybe they got tired of me. Maybe they got tired of LSPDFR. Maybe they got tired of GTA 5. Maybe they moved on to Minecraft, and they're like, I can't believe that loser is still playing GTA 5, right? So who knows, right? Whatever the case might be, it's all right. That's just YouTube. I don't hold anything against people, but some people have come back as well, and then they'll say hello. They'll pop up in the live stream, or they'll even pop up in the comments and be like, hey, Anton, I haven't watched you in a while. Do you remember me? And again, some of them I'm like, I have no idea who you are, but okay, welcome back. And other people, I'll be like, oh yeah, I do remember you, because like some people used to be regulars back when I was smaller, when I had like 1,000 subscribers, 2,000 subscribers. Then they would be on every live stream.
Yeah.
They would be hanging out like the whole live stream, and then again, for whatever reason, they went off and watched someone else and did something else for a few years, and they've come back now. And when I'm much bigger, and I'm like, wait a second, that name does sound familiar. Like I do remember this person. It's been a long time, and I'm sure the content they're seeing now is very different from what they saw back then. But I'm like, yeah, I do remember them. So yeah, it's always glad to see some. I was gonna say familiar faces, but then I guess I don't really know what their face looks like.
They're like your
Some
distant aunts.
familiar names. It's always good to see some familiar names.
Got a guy in my chat, OG Boy, that said he subscribed to you, Anton.
Well, thank you very much for subscribing.
He's one of those guys too. He's been around my community for probably about 3 years.
Nice.
I seen him back in the day.
Alexander, he's not going to go live.
Just about a week ago,
he is not going to go live.
He pops back in the live stream.
There you go, right?
I'm just going to deafen so I can tell Alexander real quick. He's not going to go live, Alexander. He usually doesn't. He likes to just come on the show and just hang out and not worry about going live.
Like you said, maybe around 1,000. 2,000 subscribers, and then, but yeah, it's cool how people do that. Like they'll come to your stream when you're at those numbers, and then they'll leave for a while, and then all of a sudden you see them pop back in. A couple years later, it's, it lets you know that for one, they've still been subbed to you that whole time. More than likely they've been subbed to you that whole time, and secondly, they've been showing their support and love for that amount of time. So, it's cool to have people in your community like that. So. It really is.
That's the thing with YouTube. That's why I said I don't hold it against, I'm not expecting anybody to, watch me. And there's some people that have watched me all this time, and that's fantastic. And there's some people that have, like I said, watched me and then gone away and then have come back. And there's, I'm sure, a lot of people too that have watched me maybe in the past and have gone and will never come back. But if I was during the last, 5 years, if there was a period of time when they watched me for 3 months and I was able to brighten up their day 3 years ago, and that's sort of the role that I played in their life. Perfect. I love it. That's what YouTube is all about, right? So I hope wherever they are, whoever they're watching now is doing the same thing for them as I did, for you 3 years ago type of thing.
And
right? So that's just the nature of YouTube, right? People will come and go, right?
Yep.
But the ones that stay, it's always glad. I'm always glad to see people that, especially like our regulars, and are always there and always supporting the channel. And maybe people are not able to, donate, drop a super chat. Maybe they're not able to become a member. But I've always, said in my live streams too, I said the biggest thing that you can do to support, me or even you guys as like YouTubers is just watch our stuff.
Just
right?
that's it.
That's it, right?
Yeah.
Just watch our stuff, because whenever you guys watch things like you're watching this live stream or you're watching a video, right? That's sending those positive signals to YouTube to say, okay, this person is watching and this person is watching and this person is watching. You know what? If everybody's watching, then maybe we should get it out to more people, right? And that's how your channel grows, right? So as great as, members are and sponsors are, and as great as people are when they drop, $100 super chat, and I've had some big super chats on my channel that have taken me aback a little bit. It's like, oh my God, look at this crazy $500 super chat. It's like,
it blows you away, man. It blows you away.
Right? so generous and so amazing and so touching to kind of see people show their support that way. But I've always said too, like one of the biggest things you can do is just watch my stuff. So I've always appreciate people too. I've always like to give a shout out too on my live streams to people that are watching but not even chatting, because if you look at your dashboard, you're live to 300 people, but you don't have 300 people in the chatting, right? So there's a lot of people out there, they're just watching, right? And it's like, thank you for for being here. Thank you for, you don't have to be an active member in the chat, you don't have to be chatting the whole live stream away, right? But the fact that somebody's out there just watching, enjoying this, laughing at me, laughing with me, whatever the case is, thank you, right? So I always kind of try to recognize people as well, just for showing up and for watching, right? Because that's, I said, one of the biggest, most helpful things that you can do to help a creator is to watch.
And I got to say, you do really well for having 300 plus people chatting. You do really well with because that's one thing that we all talk about is important, right? Is interacting with your chat. Like a lot of people come there to just watch you and they don't care about chatting.
Yeah.
But you do get a good handful of people that want to interact with the content creator. You more than us. When you say hi to somebody, you just melt their heart. I've gone into your chats many times and I've heard people say, "Please shout out my name. Please shout out my name." And
please recognize me.
Yeah, can I be mod and stuff like that. But it's great to see you as big as you are and have as many people in that chat. Keep up with it the best you can. I mean, what do you have as I know you have a third monitor, vertical monitor, right? Is it like a 65-inch to be able to really see back so far in your chat? Because I've seen where I've said something and it's disappeared on my screen, right? But you'll still come back and respond to it, even though it seems like it was buried away in all the other comments.
Yeah, I mean, it's only a 24-inch monitor, and to be honest with you, most of the time whenever I'm live streaming, the chat, I'll usually have it zoomed in to like 200 or 250%.
And slow-mo mode, right? Slow-mo mode?
I usually have slow mode, although that's mostly to stop people from just spamming, because you'll have people that in the past I noticed would come on and be like, hi.
Yeah.
I'm like, how fast can you type on your keyboard?
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, it's mostly
Always
for that.
Falcon.
But yeah,
I'll
you'll
never
still
get
have,
it.
Obviously, with a lot of people watching, you'll have the chat go by rather quickly.
Appreciate you, gaming
and like I said, most of the time my
24/7.
chat
Appreciate
is
you, man.
zoomed in, just so I don't have to like sit here and squint to see what somebody said. I can just quickly kind of glance over, and it's kind of like in big. It's like I'm like an old man, sitting over here. I have like these huge letters on my screen, when somebody says hi or whatever they say in the chat. But yeah, I just tried to like, and I've said this on a couple of live streams as well, that I might not necessarily respond, or sometimes like you can't respond to everybody that's on the live stream, but even like when I'm playing the game and I'm always glancing at the chat, so a lot of things I actually see will register in here, so I'll see people say something, but I might not necessarily respond to it. Because maybe something again happened in the game or whatever the case is. But a lot of times I just kind of look at the chat and I will, like I said, I will see what people have said, and it sort of registers, and that sometimes I'll remember that a few seconds later, and I can come back to it, right, just from memory and say that. But yeah, it's almost like a skill where you basically have to like play, talk to the camera, and then look at the chat and react to the chat at the same time.
It's a circus.
But it's always that fine balance between like focusing on the chat and also focusing on the game, because to your point, there's some people there that just want to see me play, right? They don't care much about the chat, so you can't necessarily ignore the fact that you are playing and we got to move things along. So you always have to like find that balance, I guess, between like, okay, I need to play the game and I need to keep it entertaining within the game, but I also need to interact with the chat at the same time, right? It's always like which one?
It's hard to weigh them both out, really. It's hard to weigh them out.
Yeah,
it really is.
Absolutely.
You just got to do the best you
Especially
can.
when your chat's going, it's rough. It's really rough.
Or you're going like code 3 and SLRP or something, and there's just no way, because you could tell when I'm driving and I'm looking at my chat, my cruiser's just slowly going over towards the barrier, you know,
Yep,
and it's
yep.
like, oh shit, I got to get back over, you know, and it gets a little crazy. And I appreciate you giving me the blessing for putting you on the new website.
Of course, absolutely.
I reached out to Anton. I reached out to Benzo, and I also reached out to DJ Goham. You guys are some huge people that we've had on the shows. So I really wanted to highlight some of you amazing streamers on the Meet the Gamers part of the website. So I don't know if you went and
Benzo
checked it
coming
out.
up to 100.
Yeah, he's coming up to 100,000, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's gonna probably end up hitting that this month, I think.
I
It's
think
coming
it'll
up to,
be I think by the end of
Are we
February.
talking about? Who are we
100%.
talking about?
Benzo. He's
Benzo.
like
Oh,
four.
yeah,
He's
he's
like
getting close,
4,000.
yeah.
I think he's like 4,500 away from 100,000.
Benzo
man.
does really, really good content. I love watching his content.
Yeah.
He used a lot of Rockstar editor for, like I edited a Rockstar video a few times. I remember one took me like 12 hours to edit. So as
Sounds
much
about
as
right.
he uses the Rockstar editor, I can't imagine how many hours this guy puts in to editing like full LSPDFR episodes with nothing but Rockstar editor going on the whole time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, like I did an episode where I was doing like at the end of each one of my LSPDFR patrols, I'll do two Rockstar edits where I'm just driving my police car right through the city.
Yeah, like those
and
cinematic shots, right? Yeah.
The credits are going up the screen. It's giving the sponsor shout outs, the Patreon shout outs, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And just those two edits that I do, those take me probably between editing them in the Rockstar editor and putting them in my editor and putting everything together, probably takes me about 2 hours just to do those two, by themselves. So but Rockstar, that's the cool thing about Rockstar, man. You can do so much with it. Like I love the cinematic views. I love where the camera, can come in like this and swing and then come back to the car and stick to it. And it's just, man, I love those shots, man. The smooth transition. That's what it's called when the camera pulls out and then it comes back down to the car. You know, they call it a smooth transition. That's like my favorite, man. I love it. There's a lot of time that goes into that Rockstar editor.
It really is. The Rockstar editor, for those that don't know, it takes some getting used to. It is, it does take time to really get the right angles to really record it. Yeah. And then to export it from Rockstar to your PC can take forever depending on, how long it is. But yeah, any content creator that uses it, much props. No, you're good.
Sorry to interject, but I was just gonna say a little tip, maybe, if you want to try it. I don't use a Rockstar editor as much anymore, but back in the day when I used to do it, to CJ's point about having the camera zoom out and all that stuff, you set it all up, you set up all the clips and everything like that. Instead of exporting it through Rockstar editor, you preview it in Rockstar editor, so it will basically preview all the clips for you and like play them, as if it was exporting, but you record them with OBS.
Oh shit!
Right.
That's exactly
a good
what
idea.
I do.
Right.
Oh my god!
As you're previewing it, just record on your OBS.
Yeah, you just preview it, so it will and hide the interface, right? I think you press H to hide the interface, so all you see is just the clip without the actual interface of the Rockstar
what's up,
editor
Sneaky?
with the time bar and all that stuff, right? So
Rich
you hide the
Z,
interface
I use the Go XLR.
of the Rockstar editor. You preview all the clips, so they're gonna play one by one by one. But then you record all of that in OBS and then just edit that in whatever software you used to edit. As opposed to exporting the video file from Rockstar Editor and then importing that video file into Premiere or whatever you're using.
That's fucking
DaVinci
genius. Sorry for my language,
Yeah.
but that is I never thought of that. I never thought of that.
I'm out of here.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is a
Yeah,
good
just use
idea. I never
OBS,
thought of
yeah.
it like that.
You shouldn't have. Dude, I'm using Rockstar. My last patrol I did, it was a rain highway patrol. I added a little bit of Rockstar editor into it. Dude, I'm just gonna do that more often now because one of the things is anybody, CJ, I'm sure you of all people know this, that whenever you go to export Rockstar, for some reason, it will always crash on that first export.
It will.
And you got to go
yeah.
back in, pull up your project, re-export it, and hope that it goes all the way through. Whereas if you're previewing it, it's just
going to play. Like I said, I think you press H, if I remember correctly, to hide the interface. Just double check on the key binding. But yeah, you can just hide the entire interface. move the
H,
mouse
that's-
to like I think the mouse still shows up. You just move it to the corner so it's not like it disappears. So you don't have like the.
I need a new
cursor in the middle of
SLRP
your
intro,
screen.
and that right there just
Right.
helped me out immensely.
Yeah,
that's
that
it.
that makes sense. I'm gonna start doing it like that. I believe.
Yeah. What's your favorite
Yeah,
sport?
because
Yeah,
I think it has to do a Rage plugin hook with the exporting crash issue through. Because
Probably,
if I
yeah.
do like when I do to keep mine from crashing, if I do like a Rockstar edit through LSPDFR and I'm driving my police car to the city for the end of my videos, I'll usually exit Rage plugin hook and I'll go back in through GTA5.
Yeah.
And I did that one time, and I should have went back into LSPDFR through Rage because it was a snow patrol. So I had some parts of the Rockstar editor that was showing up as snow and some that weren't.
Oh,
And that was all
Yeah.
because I went back into it as GT5 instead of through Rage plugin hook. And by the time I noticed it, it was already too late. That was the one I was telling you, Anton. I spent like 12 hours editing that video. And
Yeah.
I was like, you've got to be kidding me. I went back and watched it, and I was like, okay, why is there... Oh, my God, there's snow here. There's no snow here, but there's snow in this scene, no snow here. I'm thinking, oh, my God. So I did at the beginning of that video, I cut in. I said, hey, guys, what's going on? Just want to let you guys know real quick what's going on. There's snow in this part. There's no snow here, and this is why. But, yeah, man, it's a lot of it's due to Rage plugin hook. Anton, are you running on the new version of GT5, the 20802?
No, I still have whatever. I don't even know what version it is. To be honest with you.
2699 or 2625 or is it 2625 or
I don't. It might even be like 18 something.
What? When was the last time you did a fresh install, Anton?
Oh God, it was a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
the Galaxy
Really,
Far,
Well,
Far Away?
and when you
Anton? Oh
think-
my
When you
gosh!
think
Wow.
about it, I mean, the amount of like mods and everything that you have, it'd be like ridiculously like long to reinstall everything, you know. So
Well, that's the
I
thing,
see
and then
it.
like if you notice, I don't really necessarily play LSPDFR per se, right? Like I'm not doing callouts and stuff, right? If it's like even like today's episode, right? I mean, we're flying an airplane and Boxy Boo's attacking me on the airplane.
Yeah.
The only thing I need is really the mods that are, like the airplane mod, the Boxy Boo mod, and basically menu, which works with more or less every version of GTA 5 to do what I need to do. Everything else is just me running around and obviously setting it all up and doing it. So there's really, from a mod perspective, there's really nothing else that's kind of like running there, right? That I would need like the latest version of GTA 5 to run, right? So yeah, I'm still like it works for me. So I've never I always like to just end up downgrading,
Yep.
and I'm like, I don't want to touch it because it's working, and if I touch it, I'm gonna spend like days trying to fix it.
I'm still on 2699 and it's working beautifully for me. I'm not messing with it. I'm not touching it.
Right.
The 2802 is just giving people, but Rage, I don't know if you know this, CJ and Cooks, but scripthookv.net just dropped an update today, which I guess is
Did they?
Yeah, they did.
ScriptHookV.net?
Scripthookv.net.
I'm going to grab it.
Just
I'm going to
dropped
grab it right now.
They just updated today. I heard that from Benzo. Early this morning they updated, so maybe that helps a little bit with some of those scripts and that.
Did they? ScriptHookV.net?
.net. That's what he said in his. Hey, what's up, Swifty? In his, he dropped a community message.
The last one they updated was 360. That was last week.
Well, what the hell is he? Hold on, let me go to his channel. Let me go to his channel and read it. What?
Yeah, let me go to. Did he have it linked, Jeffrey?
I think so. His community tab. For those that use scripthookv.net, this was 14 hours ago. Not to be confused with scripthookv, and we're getting crashes. They had an update at GitHub for scripthookv.net. There is a link in his community tab, and it's the 3.60.
Yeah, that's the one he's talking about. Yeah, So I've been on scripthookv.net, the forum, right? And I've been talking to them about what scripthookv.net.asi has been doing. And I'm going to be honest, they make a really good point. They said it's on Rage plugin hooks end. It's on their part and it makes sense because I took scripthookv.net and went to a clean copy of GT5, put like a couple of scripts into my scripts folder, ran it. It ran perfectly fine. But the minute that I fired up with Rage plugin hook, it crashes.
I always found they were not fully compatible with each other because I remember even Tornado mod, which uses the scripts folder. the Tornado mod would run fine if you were just to launch regular GTA 5, right? But then as soon as you launch it through Rage plugin hook, the Tornado mod would still spawn the Tornado, but it wouldn't actually like lift up any cars or anything like that.
And
so I've always
massive
found there
frame
was some.
drops. Massive.
Well, yeah, of course, you know that
Yeah,
that
when
whole
you
thing is just a
first-
frame drop killer or a frame killer, right? But like, yeah, I always found there was like a compatibility issue between some of the scripts and Rage plugin hook as well.
Yeah, it's definitely on Script Hook V. I mean, I'm sorry, it's definitely on Rage plugin hook. Rage plugin hooks in because I don't see why it wouldn't be. I mean, like I said, I launched scripthookv.net with
Q-Ball, he already
clean
answered
copy
that
GTAV if you
maybe
script my
about
folder.
10,
It launched
15
great.
minutes back.
Put it with Rage plugin hook. Takes a dump.
We did he did a whole answer on the
So yeah, it's definitely got to be
TikTok
on Rage plugin hooks in. But I don't know. I went to the LSPDFR forums.
GTA 5.
Yeah. What's your favorite? What's your favorite call out pack?
I went over to the LSPDFR forums and stuff too, and I've looked around, but I haven't seen nobody put up any issues with that particular issue. I haven't seen anybody else put those issues up, and I stay subscribed to most things on LSPDFR.com. Like, you know, I follow a lot of the chats and stuff over there, and you know, a lot of the developers. So when somebody posts something, you know, I get the notification for it. But I haven't seen nobody post anything about that. Maybe I just need to go over there and talk to them. But like, you know, I mean, I'm assuming since Rage plugin hook doesn't have their website up anymore because it's been down for quite some time, I'm assuming that they're affiliated over on LSPDFR.com now, because every time, you know, we have a new version of LSPDFR, an updated version of Rage plugin hook comes with it. So
Yeah,
actually have-
that's the thing. That's what I'm like trying to stay away from, because it's like it's just everything is kind of working. I don't even want to upgrade anything because I'm like, I know that it will break, and then I have to like relearn everything again. So I'm like, I don't even want to touch it. Just let me play, let me make the video, and you know, let it be, right?
Yeah, it's
Let
probably
it
better
be.
not to use
Let
Rage
it
plugin
be.
hook. It probably is.
Oh,
What?
hello.
What's
who's here?
Oh, is that Teddy?
Oh, he's here. Oh, Teddy's here.
There he is.
Okay.
Look
Hi,
at
Teddy.
it.
Look at
How long
that
he
guy.
wants to lick. Okay, thanks for licking me in the mouth. Appreciate it. Teddy's here.
Look at him.
Just
It's like
come
he
by for a
knows.
little
It's like he
visit.
knows.
Yeah, you gonna lick me? Okay. He can't stop. He can't.
Look
It's
at
just
that
like him.
little
It's-
cuddly fur ball, man. Look at him.
Hi, Teddy.
How old?
Hi, Teddy. How old are you now, Teddy? 7 months now.
7
He's
months.
a big boy.
Oh.
He's a big boy. Okay. You don't need to lick me in the mouth.
Not in the
There you go,
mouth.
Teddy. Not in the mouth. No, thank
Well, you know what they say? Dogs
thank
have
you.
the cleanest mouths, so.
I don't.
Oh, okay, well, that's,
yeah,
you
no,
know.
not what I've seen my dog
Well,
do. It.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
He's probably
Okay.
licking his balls as we speak.
Yeah, right.
Sorry. What's your favorite call out pack to use?
My favorite call out pack. Oh my goodness. Teddy, what's my favorite call out pack? Okay. Are you done?
Oh, licking cheek. Oh, I never heard of that one.
All right. Okay. See, he's just
Look at
gonna
him, look at him.
he's
He
gonna keep
loves you,
going.
man. He loves you.
just-
Yeah, he does. Look at that.
He just doesn't stop. He just doesn't stop.
Anton's number one
He's
fan.
adorable, man.
Off he goes. I can only hold him for so long because unlike Mishka, he gets very antsy when he gets picked up, right? He's like, let me go.
Yeah, Mishka just did not want to be on camera ever.
You know. And Mishka, no, especially not towards the end of his life. He was kind of over it, right? When he was like when I first started on YouTube, he was a little bit more open to it. But then, you know, it was like I'm just done. Don't even bring me on to live stream. So I sort of like started cutting, because I used to bring him on to like every live stream, and then I started cutting back a little bit because I'm like, I don't want to torture the poor cat either if he doesn't want to be on, you know, on camera, or he doesn't even understand really. There's Steady right down there. You can kind of see him.
Oh, there he is.
Teddy, what are you doing over there?
What kind of dog is Teddy? Robert Lawler asked. He wants to know what kind of dog.
Hey,
Teddy
what's up,
is.
Uncle Trevor? Luke the Gamer, what's going on, man?
He is a Maltese. So he's a mix between Maltese and a poodle. And
I think Anton's watching the chat. I think he's in the chat.
His mom, she was a Maltese, and then his dad was a poodle, and they had Teddy.
All right. Well, there you go, Robert.
There you go. To go back to the other question, what's my favorite call-out pack? I don't know if I have a favorite necessarily. I will say that, and this, I don't think it's been updated for a long time, but back in the day, I think it was called LP Callouts. That was a callout pack that actually had some really good callouts that were properly coded and had more to them, more to them than just like go over here and shoot this guy or go over here and arrest somebody. Like they were actual like you had to do, sometimes you had to like do an investigation and you had to talk to witnesses, and there is a witness over here, and then maybe something else happens, right? And so the creator is, I guess, the word I'm looking for, of that call out pack actually put in the effort.
Hey, what's
to
up, William?
Create,
Welcome to the
like
stream, bud.
Story, I guess, call outs, so like these investigative based call outs. And I remember too, somebody was developing like a what the heck was it called? They were developing like a detective mod, LS Noir is I think what it was called. They were developing like a detective mod, so we're sort of similar to the game LA Noir by Rockstar, where again you had to go and you had to do these investigations and you had to talk to this person, and then like you had to choose whether they were lying, if they were being honest, and then based on your choice, that would then direct you to like further down the line essentially. There's Teddy over there. I don't know. You can kind of see him. He's sort of right down there. There he is.
It looks like the grate from. No, maybe not. I don't know why
it's the grate. Yeah, it's like a ventilation. AC,
it just looks like something from
grate.
Toy Story.
Yeah.
Like I don't know why.
Is it?
Just picture it popping.
It's an older
open.
house, right? So you have like more. Yeah, you have like a grate that's a little bit more creative. He's just hanging out right by it. But yeah, so that was LP callouts was pretty good. It was it was kind of like more depth to it than like just the surface. Like I said, go over here and shoot this guy, or go over here and kill somebody, right? And then like I said, somebody was creating like a detective based sort of callout pack, but then it never went anywhere, which is really unfortunate with a lot of these mods. People will put in all this time and effort, i.e. Grand Theft Space. They put in all this time and effort creating the space mod where you can go to space, where you can go on and land on all these planets. And I remember doing a live stream where we landed on Venus, and we landed on Mercury, and we landed on Europa or whatever it was, right? And like flew to all of these planets. And then they never again, there's only I guess so much you can do with space, but I feel like there's a lot more they could have done with that mod to make it even better. And then they released like one version of it, and then never did anything with it again, right? So, which is sort of a shame, to be honest.
I messed with that mod a little bit. It was actually a really cool mod. I love that mod. Yeah, it was a cool mod.
And again,
I never
there's
heard
only
of
like
it.
so much
I never heard of
you
it.
can do.
Yeah, I've dabbled
Grand
in
Theft
some
Space,
GTA mods. There's a
definitely
lot of
looking
cool
into that.
mods out there that people don't know about, that aside from LSPDFR, like what I call GT5 fun mods. So I have a file that I call my fun file. Everybody knows that watches me. And that's my file that's got like add-on peds, Back to the Future mods, space, anything that has to do with just plain GTA mods. And I will say this, that GT5 mods alone run way better, and you have way less crashes than what you will with LSPDFR.
Oh, yes.
And I have actually thought about converting over so many times. I've thought about converting over to just GT5 mods, just because I feel like we spend more time troubleshooting LSPDFR than what we do actually playing it. So, I mean, and there's a lot less crashes with GT5 mods. I'm just saying, guys. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I mean, I think at the end of the day, too, like, it all kind of depends, like,
Hey,
what
what's
you
up?
want to
Hey,
do as
how
a
you doing,
creator
man?
as well, and what you enjoy
Hey,
more
what's up,
and
Zachary
stuff,
Glitch
right?
Guy?
And,
That's my son
I
up in the
started
chat.
my channel off more
Glitch
with
God.
doing the typical sort of LSPDFR patrols, and then kind of morphed into, like, the current version of it, where it's mostly, like, these story-based videos, right, where I'm kind of like using some of the elements that you might see in mods, but again, I'm not necessarily playing with that mod specifically, right? Even when you look at, for example, like something like the Godzilla mod, there's the Godzilla mod that allows you to have like Godzilla in the game, and it does kind of all like the Godzilla things. But again, I'll use maybe elements of it, or I'll use it for a video, but the video is not necessarily about that mod specifically, right? So yeah, I mean, I think it's whatever you want to end up doing, right? With whether it's LSPDFR, if you do want to transition to like other GTA 5
Doing
mods,
good, Joshua. How you doing?
a lot of them coming out. I mean, even when you look at like the GTA 5 mods website, right? Just based on all the different things that come out there all the time, it's insane how much stuff people are making for a game that's now what 8 years old.
Yeah, it's old. And then there's people that are rushing through shit too. Like there's stuff that people are just rushing and throwing out there. LSPDFR.com. I saw a siren, and it was of this guy's girlfriend that just went wee woo wee with her voice, and they posted it. And it's like, come on. Like I thought they looked through the shit and they look for serious mods, and but there's people that are coming out with just call out packs. Yeah. You never.
Was it really a girl going wee?
It
woo,
was
wee,
really
woo?
a girl just going wee woo wee woo. I went and I looked at I did the preview, even installed it just to okay, maybe the preview was a joke or whatever. I installed it. No, it was really it was a half-ass recording of just her just saying wee woo.
Perfect. That's the siren you use on your upcoming April Fool's episode this year.
Oh well. There you go. Lipstick on a pig.
April Fool's is coming.
Ideas.
April Fool's is coming.
Wee woo, wee woo.
Do a live stream.
Wait, tell me what siren it was. I want to go look at
April
it.
the 1st.
Oh, that was a while ago.
Now you gotta go find it.
I do. Now you're gonna have me go look for it. But
oh my God, I want to. Yeah, dude. And it goes. So it's an actual siren.
It's an actual siren that goes into your game, and it was just he said, and even the thumbnail says my girlfriend's siren or my girlfriend's voice or something like that.
At this point though, it's probably just easier to save you time. Just get your wife to record the same thing and then just use that as a siren in your April Fool's episode. But that's an idea. See, for something like April Fool's, I think that'd be hilarious if you use that as a siren in like your video or live stream, right?
Wee woo, wee.
Wow.
So I have a question for Anton here. It's just one that I thought nobody in my chat said it, but what would be like if you had to pick one? I know it's gonna be very difficult. It'd be something very difficult for me, and I know you've been working with GTA for years and modding and all that. So what would be your favorite like mod or script? It could be for LSPDFR. It could be for like like LS.
That is a tough one to answer because there's so many great ones.
It is.
There's a lot of great ones. As I mentioned, like Grand Theft Space immediately comes to mind. I mean, again, I'm a big, space guy. I like all that space stuff, and the fact that you can actually blast off from GTA 5, go into space, land on the moon, land on Venus, kind of explore.
I gotta look into that.
Yeah, it was kind of cool, and like obviously, again, there's only so much you can do with space, but the fact that they did all of that, and then I feel like they could have gone back and just kind of continued to build on that, but like. These different environments, and maybe they weren't all that crazy, but still it's like they still put an effort to make crazy environments when you can fly into the atmosphere of Jupiter, and we had like it's all like in terms of colors, it was like all these dark orange colors, and there's like lightning and stuff, and it kind of looked like really cool, like you were maybe inside Jupiter. Not that you can really go inside Jupiter and not get crushed by the pressure, but anyway, it was really cool to kind of see that, and I feel like they could have done more. I remember they had like a wormhole. You would go through the wormhole, and then there was like another planet that you can land on. And I feel like you could have just done a lot more with that mod with planets and stuff. So that one definitely jumps out to me. That is a good one.
Take care, Swifty.
Have good memories about and like having a lot of fun on the live stream actually doing that. I also like the natural disaster ones, right? So when you like mod your game to, whether it's like a tornado that's ripping up
the tidal wave. I've been thinking about doing a tidal wave one.
Yeah, like a tsunami one, right, where it kind of like floods the city.
Yep.
I remember the first time I actually did a live stream, and we did like a hurricane in Florida type of thing, and like lossantos is all flooded. And I remember that was really my first time playing with that mod. And I went into the game, and like the way that I set the water level was like half the city was flooded, the other half was still above water, and be able to just drive through some of these streets that are like half flooded and go into on like a highway overpass and look out and see like one half of the city just completely underwater and completely gone was like something that I haven't really seen in the game before, because it was my first time, and I was like really taken aback by that. It's something you don't expect. And yeah, so that was kind of cool. And then the other one that really jumps out to me, I don't know if you guys use this mod, is it's on the GTA 5 website, the Forests of San Andreas.
Yeah.
It's a mod
Crazy.
that adds, so you guys know about it. It's a mod that adds like literally thousands of trees to your game and really transforms the game, especially when you get out of the city and you go into like Blaine County and stuff. Where when I took a mod out for one of my videos because it was conflicting with something, and the trees were kind of like in the middle of things that I needed to do. So I took it out and I was like, oh my god, I couldn't believe how barren vanilla GTA 5
I
is
know,
when you're
right?
actually out there in Blaine County and you're like, wow, there's like 2 trees on this huge mountain, right? And I'm so used to now like having thousands of trees in the game. And again, when I think back to like the first time I put it into my game and I started driving through Blaine County to kind of like witness all of these trees around, I was like, wow, I was really taken aback because again, it had like such a transformative feeling, like, oh my god, like I'm playing a different game. I don't even know where I am right now. Like, where am I?
And
Right?
those trees
like that.
do have
Right.
collision. So they're in the story
Oh,
mode.
yeah.
In the story mode, there's a mission where you're as Trevor, or you might be Trevor's assistant, but you got to fly the plane low to stay off of the radar, right? But now you got
so you
all
can't-
these trees everywhere. It really makes that mission really tough to complete because now where you're supposed
You
to
got
fly
trees
low,
everywhere.
you got trees in your way, so you're trying to like go around. Oh man, it was tough, but I agree. I will always have that mod in my game. I love Forest of San Andreas. I just
Yeah,
I
that's a
like how it
must-have
lets you
now.
pick, the redwoods or the cedar or both, a little mixture of
both, yeah.
both, and it's great. That's a great
Yeah,
one.
so those
Yeah,
are the
in
ones
LA
that kind of jump out at me that are like
Yep.
that I would say my favorite.
Real California architecture,
I
city
love that one,
lights,
too.
LA roads. LA roads, I like LA roads.
Mhm.
It's just transforms
Do you guys have
everything.
any texturing issues with those? Because I remember installing those back in the day, and literally like 5 minutes after loading into the game, it's like all the textures, everything disappears. I'm like, okay, this is just,
No, I never
can't-
have that issue. I'm sure
I
you have
will
your
say-
preload all models set to false. I'm guessing you already know that trick, right?
Yeah, it was always because I would try to troubleshoot it to see what was causing and the only thing I would always come back to is like LA roads and stuff that were causing all these issues.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I
do you
remember
use
it came out a long
NVE
time ago.
by any chance, or NVR, Natural Vision?
Well, now I do, but back then, this was even back before
okay.
NVR, NVE days, right? So yeah,
Yeah, I know
I
NVE
will-
clashes pretty bad with LA roads. Sorry, Cooks. Go ahead.
does it?
No,
Yeah.
you're good. I was just gonna say I have had that issue before. It took like a couple of times to reinstall it for it to go away. I don't really know why it did that, but I think it was LA roads, but I don't know why.
Yeah, LA
Yeah, I don't know if
roads. I
there's, like,
never
some
had
sort
an
of
issue with it.
Texture, I don't know, glitch, not glitch, but I guess conflict or whatever. I don't know. It was something to do with texture related, because obviously when all the textures disappear in the game, you're like, well, what the heck is going on here, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Mr.
Always
Zero
frustrating.
said, "How do you come up with your ideas for your videos?"
How do I come up with my
Yeah.
ideas for the videos? Well, it's just a lot of thinking, I guess. I don't know. It's a good question. I sort of I'm always thinking about the videos, so always trying to like sort of, I guess, pick my brain, see what I can come up with, right? Sometimes it's obviously like looking around YouTube and kind of seeing all the other things that people might be doing where maybe something catches your eye, right? Or watching a video that might, kind of, I don't know, spark an idea, I guess, right? Like you'd watch a video and be like, oh yeah, I can probably do this in Grand Theft Auto 5. Like I remember watching a video about, what happened to Hitler after World War II, and I'm like, we can probably do that in GTA 5. We can find Hitler's body, or it won't be Hitler's body. It'll be zombie Hitler, that's gonna come after us, right? So yeah, because that's what it is. It's like I just kind of I'm always I guess I'm always like thinking, trying to sort of come up with ideas, and then somewhere in this big head they'll get born, all right? And sometimes it's also weird. Like I've had moments before where like you go to bed, you're trying to fall asleep, and then it like strikes you. It's like I remember one time I wrote pretty much an entire episode after I went to bed.
Oh,
I
wow.
just-
Wow.
yeah, it just hit me. And as I was kind of lying there trying to fall asleep, I just started thinking, and I'm like, oh, and I can do this. And if I go over there, and then Eunice is going to be there, and Eunice is going to say that, and then we're going to go to Sarge, and then Sarge is going to tell us to do this, and then we're going to go over there.
And it gets
all
you
of a sudden, I'm like,
excited, man. You get excited
yeah, I got
for
like
it.
my phone out, and I'm trying to like take down all these notes, right, as I'm like in bed, so I don't end up forgetting it the next morning, right? But yeah, like so sometimes it's like the weird places where like I'll think of something for an episode, right? And be like, yeah, I can probably do this in GTA 5, right? And then you're trying to think like, okay, will people actually watch this, right? If if I was to do this, will people actually click on the video and watch it? And some of them have, and some of them, like the Hitler one, not so not so much.
I wonder why.
Because no one wanted to see zombie Hitler. I don't know. I thought it was a funny idea.
Thank you, OG boy. Came over from CJ's YouTube channel. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. We're here with Anton Z, who is obviously linked down, first link in the description, but I'm sure everybody here is already subscribed to Anton. But if you're not, definitely go check him out. You still stream once a week, or live stream once a week, right? Or you don't?
No, I'm sort of taking a break from streaming, actually.
I was going to say, I think it's been a while since I've seen you. I've had any notification that you've been live.
Yeah, I did a live stream actually just recently on, the last one was like a Christmas special, which was right around Christmas. I did that one. And then, and then since then I haven't really done anything. Sort of taking a little break from streaming. I have been thinking about maybe doing some live streams on TikTok, actually. I've never actually streamed on TikTok before, so I thought, hey, maybe, let's try it out, see how it's like on TikTok. But yeah, sort of taking a bit of a break on YouTube, just more so that I can have more time to focus on like videos. Because that's the thing too that people don't see in the background as well, is like all the time that it takes to prepare for the live stream.
Yeah.
And then of course, if YouTube decides not to really put it out there, you've then spent all this time and effort, and then it's like didn't even result in anything, and then I'm like going, well, what's going on here, YouTube? It definitely, I will say, just based on my experience at least, of all the years that I've live streamed, and back in the day, even I used to live stream every day for a while. It definitely has changed. Like YouTube used to promote live streams a lot more. I remember I would go live, and you get 10,000 view, you get all of these new subscribers and stuff, right? And now it's like even some of these live streams, right? You'll get 10,000 views, but most of the views are coming from your existing audience as opposed to like new audience. Because when I look at the subscriber numbers, it's like 10,000 views and like 30 new subscribers, and I'm going like, okay, well that's kind of weird, right? Like how can you get so many views and not all those subscribers? But it's because most of the views are coming from your existing audience, right? So they really changed their live algorithm, because like I said, I remember back in the day, live streaming was really the best way to grow the channel, and that has really, I think, changed, especially over the past year or so. They've really changed up their algorithm,
which sucks,
right? Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's like I mean, obviously, I'm not at YouTube making those decisions, but it's like, what are you guys doing, right? Like, come on, you gotta obviously come up with ways that you can support both live streaming on your platform and videos. And I just feel like, I don't know if you guys remember this, but maybe about 4 years ago, YouTube Gaming was like a separate thing. It was like a separate app for it. There was a separate website for it. Yeah, and it was like called YouTube Gaming. There was a separate, like a huge separate team for it. And then they sort of abandoned all of that. They said, okay, forget about YouTube Gaming. We're just going to roll it all up into YouTube, right? And it's still there. Like if you go to, if you click on the gaming section, it still takes you to the gaming page. But it used to be like a lot different back then. And there used to be a lot more focus on YouTube Gaming because they were kind of trying to compete with Twitch. So there was a lot more focus on live streams. And I remember doing some live streams that were actually featured on the YouTube Gaming homepage. So I was live, and then all of a sudden, I have like all these people coming into the chat and stuff, and chat is blowing up because all of these new people are now being pushed towards the live stream. Where since they've got rid of that and integrated gaming into like the whole of YouTube, I just found that all of that sort of disappeared, and they really de-emphasized live streaming, especially lately, I would say. So I don't know if you guys have seen that on your channels, where maybe the live streaming numbers are just not as good as they used to be, but I've definitely seen it on my channel where, with me, just because of the fact that I have a lot of subscribers and a lot of fans, and they'll end up watching the live streams, but like these live streams are not getting out to the new audience as much as they used to back in the day, right? So
yeah,
which is really a shame,
I've noticed that. Yeah.
Yep. I have noticed that on my live streams, it's almost like I get more subscribers. Because I've got videos out there where usually the revert videos, like my latest revert video, I gained over 300 subscribers on that one video and over 3,000 members in the Discord, all within a week from that one video. But then other videos won't do nothing. So I guess, like you said, yeah, it's on how long people watch it for, because it's live stream. Somebody might just pop in and say, hey, and then leave, right? So you're not really getting, YouTube isn't going to pick up on that. So, I don't know. It seems like with me lately, it's almost like the live streams, I'm gaining more subscribers from the live streams than I am from just posting regular patrols and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If they're just regular videos.
And I think that's important too. I think that's what you have to look at, right? To see like what is the data, right? Where am I, having the most success, and like what's working for me, right? Because when, and I'll tell you, like and I've shared this on the live streams before, when I look at my stats and I say, okay, well, if I'm streaming, even once a week, right? And once a week, on Saturday, you live stream for 2 hours. But again, what people don't see is behind the scenes stuff, right? I got to set up the live stream. Well, I got to think of what it is, first of all, right? So again, coming up with an idea, right? Then I'm like, okay, can I get the mods for this? Can we make this happen? Let's go. For example, like, I don't know, UFO crashed and we have to recover this crashed UFO, right? Okay, well, now we got to go find the mods. We got to install them. We got to, make sure that, they're all working. I got to go set it up because obviously the UFO crashed and I don't know, some military guys around. Like, that just doesn't appear in the game. You have to go in and you have to, get that all set up, right? And then it's like, well, again, what's the live stream going to be about? Am I going to be using a tow truck? Okay, so I got to get, all that figured out. So before you know it, you're spending, for a 2-hour live stream, you're spending more like 4 to 5 hours, depending on what you're trying to do, right? And then I'm going, okay, well, if I'm doing that once a week, let's say, right? 5 hours, 4 hours, right? Times 4 live streams a month, right? So you're spending 20 to 25 hours. And when I look at my stats, right, and I see the fact that less than 1% of all my views are live streams, right, on the channel, right? So, like, that, why am I spending 25 hours doing something that nets, less than 1% of all my monthly views on my channel, right? Whereas like 99% of all the views that I get is from videos, right? So then I should be spending more time on videos. And that's sort of like when you look at it, and it's
What's
like
up,
as great
BP?
as live streams are, and I'm still, and that's not to say that I'm not going to stream ever again. I think I will. Right now I'm just kind of taking a break and sort of focusing on videos, and I might pop in a live stream here and there. Like I said, I wanted to try maybe some live streaming on TikTok just to see what it's like. But then I'm thinking, like, too, it's, if live streams, were resulted in more views and everything, right, then it's kind of worth the time, right? But the fact that when you look at the data doesn't support you doing this, right, it's like maybe I should focus on, on other things, at least for the time being, right? So, yeah, I think it's important to just kind of look to see what's working for you and then make that determination, right? And there's some people out there that live stream and nothing but live streams, right? And they're growing like crazy,
Yo,
right?
Newman
So
Gaming was popping.
if it's working for them, then clearly, keep live streaming, right?
Yeah.
If I could, I'll be honest, if I could, like, do away with content completely and just be a full-time streamer on my main channel, that's what I would do. That's what I would do, because I would like to, honestly, I would like to.
Hey, we got East Bay Gaming up in the house. What's up, East Bay? How you doing, brother?
Farm sim content.
What's going on, man?
Because I love to play Farm Sim. I don't know what it is about that game, but I could literally play that game for hours and never get bored. I could never get bored
Y'all
of
go
it.
check out East Bay
and
Gaming.
GT5 is the same way for
Great
me. I
dude
just
to
started
watch.
another. I mean, I've beat that story mode, no lie, probably 60 plus times. And I just started playing the story mode again yesterday.
That is a lot. That is a lot.
So I mean, I can quote the game. I can quote the game as I'm playing. I can quote a lot of the stuff in there. But I would, if I could, man, I would solely do just streaming on my main channel, and that's it. If it's what I could revert to, I would completely just be a full-time streamer.
So why don't you?
I don't know, because I think a lot of it is where, especially like when we have updates and stuff, people I feel like people depend on the channel, and people are sitting around waiting for that update video. You know, they're waiting for, you know, if something updates, they're waiting for me to put it out there. You know, or just LSPDFR content in general. They're waiting on that. I do security guard patrols. I do bounty hunter patrols. I do dirty cop episodes. I do regular patrols, firefighter, all that good stuff. So, and that aspect, yeah, I'd like to keep that going. But to run 2 channels, it is a lot to do content for both channels.
Yeah,
every day, you know. So I mean, if I'm doing 2 videos, if I'm doing 2 videos a day, which is 1 video per channel every day, that's 10 videos a week. That's 10 videos a week, and that's a lot of editing, a lot of recording time. So yeah, if I could do 1 channel where I could just live stream fully, it would definitely be my main channel, and then just focus solely on content for my second channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose too, like, and you always have to think of, like, you know, in the long run as well, right? You know, if you were to start doing more live streaming or more like full-time live streaming, right, you'll build up more of a full-time audience that are not going to expect videos, that are not going to wait for LSPDFR episodes, because they're going to be waiting for your live streams, right? Right. So the more you do it, the more of an audience you'll build, right? And kind of help you sort of convert to that. At the same time, too, right? You know, maybe it's worth trying for some, you know, upcoming updates. Instead of doing a video, do a live stream, right? Maybe it's not a video that you're putting out, but maybe you're doing a live, you know, backup and revert type of thing, right? Which then you can probably catalog as a video, right, as well, and, you know, maybe release a clip. But like, yeah, just maybe trying some new approaches to, rather than maybe making like a tutorial video, maybe it's a tutorial live stream, right? Or maybe making like again, from like a live streaming perspective, right, as opposed to like recording a video. What if you were to do it live, right? What if you were to do, you know, maybe it's not like a 2-hour live stream, but maybe it's going to be like a quick little tutorial 20-minute live stream, right?
I was thinking about doing like a 30-minute to an hour troubleshooting live stream. You know, I'll go live, people come in the chat, what's your issue with your game? Let's try to troubleshoot it together. You know what I mean? Like a live Q&A when it comes to modding your GTA.
Like a live IT game support type of.
I actually had a series that I used to do, and it was called Talk Tech Tuesdays, and that's what it was. It was me going live and answering troubleshooting questions about LSPDFR. And I always thought about, thank you, Joshua Starks. And I always thought about bringing that back or something, bringing something like that back.
And I mean, at the end of the day, too, like, you almost have to experiment just to see if it's, you know, worth it, right? Or to see if you can, you know, if that's something worth doing, and if there's an audience for it. And you never know, maybe there is, right? You might find more success, because I think sometimes too, and I run into that. We set a, you know, we sort of get set into our own, you know, ways of like, okay, this is what I got to do, right? Like, you know, I need to make, you know, this type of video, right? I need to do this all the time. Or like, you know, yeah, if an update is coming out, I got to put out a tutorial video. But maybe, you know, you got to experiment, and maybe you'll find that there's something else that works even better, right? And then you're going to be going, well, why am I spending all this time putting out these tutorial videos when, you know, I can do this instead? I can do, I don't know, a tutorial live stream, and look at all the numbers and like the crazy, you know, views I got on that, right? So, I think you got to try it, kind of see what happens, right?
Yeah,
and if it works, it works, and if
agree.
it doesn't, then you kind of move on and, you know, and go back to, you know, whatever was working, or if you need to come up with another idea, right? Look at, you know, other opportunities. But yeah, like, I think it's worth just trying it, just kind of see what happens, right?
Hey, Olivia.
I did. I actually
Haley,
did some
how are
live
you?
tutorials a couple of years ago, where I was starting with the base mods of LSPDFR, and I went all the way through all the plugins, the callouts, the OpenIV modifications. I mean, we went all the way to graphic mods. And I was doing these live streams during the afternoon time, because I had another live stream I would do during the evening, right? Because I go live from 6 to 8 Monday through Friday. That's my schedule.
Yep.
So that's what I initially would do, is during the day
I was watching the Bills game, Haley. I know it came down to a field goal.
Looking back at them, it got some really good feedback. Those videos got some really good feedback, and I enjoyed just sitting there I would have all the links provided in the description for people to click on if they wanted to follow along with me. And it was a lot to set up, especially once I got to like the OpenIV modifications and, doing plugins and manipulating the files and on the INI files and all that. It got to be a lot, but it was worth it nonetheless. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, I would love to be a full-time streamer where I'm live streaming. The way my schedule is on Mondays, right now we're playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. And then on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, we're doing some type of LSPDFR patrol. And then Thursdays and Fridays, me and my friend Chris,
1944.
we're playing,
Appreciate you coming through with
the
that
Gears of War
subscribe there, bud.
franchise.
Thank you,
And then
Bretto.
once we get done with that, we're going to move on to the Halo franchise. But I would love to just be a full-time streamer, like just a live stream over here. Like, that's what I want to do. But I might give that a try. I might do that, Anton. That's good advice. I might.
Yeah,
give
and
that
I
a
think
try,
too,
man.
like look for opportunities as well, right? Like, depending on like what's happening in a sense of like what the audience wants, right? Like, are they looking right now to back up their game or revert their game or reinstall script hook? Maybe not, right? If there's nothing associated, but if you see an opportunity to like, oh my god, an update just came out, today, let's say, right? Script hook is broken. There's probably a lot of people out there looking for solutions, right? Looking for, how to update script hook or whatever it is. And if there's an opportunity for you to set up a live stream to say, I don't know, whatever it's called, GTA 5 update breaks script hook again. Here's your solution or whatever it's called, right? It's like you're probably going to pick up a good amount of views and a good amount of people watching you live, right? Because they're going to come in looking for those answers, right? So yeah, if there's opportunities to sort of shine with your kind of content and your expertise, especially around the times when there's updates and stuff, I say take take advantage of that, right? Go live and kind of target those specific audiences, and because people are on YouTube searching, how do I update script hook as soon as the update drops, right? For GTA 5,
right? That's a good idea. I might start doing that, man. Instead, yeah, I might do that live. That's a good idea. That's a really good idea. That's why I like you, Anton. This is why I like you.
I'm more than always like I've always been like that. Like I'm more than happy to help, right? That's how I like found opportunities to like grow the channel, right? If you're gonna be playing around with with some kind of a mod or something, it really helps to align if there's like something going on that people are searching for, right? If there's something happening and you can take advantage of that and throw it out there and get in front of new audience, like go for it, right? So maybe it's like you do some sort of a live tutorial thing, especially around the time when people are looking for live tutorials, right?
Yeah, that's a good thought, man. I would definitely, because I think that would give me more time too. If I was a full-time streamer on this channel, I think that would give me more time on my second channel to put out videos like every day. Like if I could, I would upload farm sim content consistently. Like if I could, when the game first dropped, and I kid you not, when Farming Simulator first came out last year in November, I was dropping like 3 and 4 tutorials a day over there on how-tos, like beginner's guides, right? And now I've got like 30, 40, maybe even closer to 50-something videos in that playlist. And that's where a majority of the audience came from on that channel was when I started doing those beginner's guide tutorials. Yeah, man. And for some reason, how-to videos always draws the people in. I don't know what it is.
For games like Farming Simulator, because for somebody like me, for example, that's starting out, that first of all knows nothing about farming to begin with, and then I'm getting into Farming Simulator, and now have to like figure this out. I don't even know what to do in this game. Oh yeah, for sure. Like I myself have gone on to search how-tos and stuff, right? I think if you're trying to build a channel especially for a game like that where there's a lot of how-to opportunities. The same thing with I don't know, Microsoft Flight Simulator for somebody that's trying to learn how to fly and stuff, like doing like how-to videos, right? So games like that, I think there's a lot of opportunities for how-to. You can build a whole channel, I think, of like hundreds of thousands of people just doing how-tos.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
without a doubt.
Definitely.
100%.
Definitely.
Right?
Definitely.
You just have to
you
have to find the opportunities. What are people searching for, right? And what people are interested in. And I think that sort of traffic that really you have to target for search, right? So specifically, like what would people look for, right? And again, I'm not too familiar with Farming Simulator, but how to drive a tractor or whatever it is, right? Like,
Right.
you know, and maybe even look for very specific opportunities, and then basically deliver in that video, right? You want to, you know, you want to make sure that you basically like, here's what you're looking for, right? And I have the answer
Yeah.
for you, right? And then the
Yeah.
other thing too that I will say with tutorial videos is is obviously, you know, you want to make sure that they're appropriate amount of time, but like get to the point.
Yeah.
Right.
I've
Yeah, you don't want it to
learned.
be too short
Yeah.
or too long. Yeah.
Yeah. I've learned that.
You don't want to
way.
be too fast. You know what I mean? I mean, I did videos on basic stuff, like the basics that I started with. Like the first video I did on FS22 was how to set up your FS22 settings, your in-game settings, because a lot of people were having trouble with that. So I went through every setting from the advanced options on how to make the beacons on the tractors reflect, right down to how to plow your field, how to plant your seeds, how to lay down fertilizer, how to put down your lime, how long does it take for your crop to grow, what do you do when it does grow, how many states of fertilizer do you put in between, you know, how many growth states. So it's a state of fertilizer every third state. I think you put a state of fertilizer. So I'm showing those videos, and it, you know, Farm Sim is one of those games that when you start playing it, for me, I started on FS15 on Xbox years ago.
Oh wow.
And man, it's just one of those games that just sucks you in. Like, it's so super addictive, and I don't know why, but it is. And I keep telling everybody that one day there'll be a real CG farms. Like, I'll have an actual farm, you know, like an actual
farm simulator built.
Yeah, that I can actually farm on, because I grew up in the country, and I grew up around, you know, farming and gardens and chickens and,
oh, wow,
you know, horses and cows and stuff like that. So, you know, it's a lot of fun for me, and I can personally relate to that. Getting into GT5 and pulling a gun as a cop, I mean, I guess I can kind of relate to that too. I've never been a cop, but there was a lot of research and studying that went into being an LSPDFR police officer. For example, you know, searching up and learning your 10 codes. You know, I learned all my 10 codes, and you know, searching up certain laws and how this is supposed to go on. That, you know, it just. But yeah, full-time streamer on the main channel, something I would definitely love to do, and then content fully on my CJ Farm channel is.
Did you see, by the way, to go back to farming for a second, did you see that on Prime Video, that show Clarkson's Farm?
I have not seen that.
I think you would enjoy that one. It's from Jeremy Clarkson, who's obviously on Top Gear and now Grand Tour. It is, yeah, I think if you're like into farming and stuff, yeah, I think you'll enjoy watching if you have Prime Video. I think you'll enjoy watching like how he basically, because he essentially bought a farm and, you know, running it, right? So I think you'll enjoy that one.
Okay, yeah, yeah, I have Amazon Prime Video. Yeah, I'll go check that out. Clarkson Farm, you said?
Yeah, Clarkson's. Yeah, I think that's what it's called, right? Like, they're actually gonna have a second season probably come next year. But yeah, Clark. I can't spell Clarkson's Farm. I think is what. Then yeah, Clarkson's Farm is what they call it. So yeah, it's Jeremy Clarkson, who is the who used to be the host of Top Gear back in the day, and now it's now of course it's Grand Tour that they switched on to after he got fired by the BBC a bunch of years ago. But yeah, so he essentially did like a farm show, and it was highly successful. So now they're gonna do season 2 of it. But yeah, I think if you're into farming, you'll enjoy that one.
All right, I'll check it out, man. I'll check it out. I'll definitely check it out. Yeah, I do watch a couple of farmers on YouTube. One being Welker Farms, which they just integrated that map into FS22. His farm, the real life farmer Welker Farms. They integrated his farm into FS22. Millennial Farmer. They also integrated his farm into FS19, but they haven't done on FS22 yet, which I'm anxious to see. But yeah, there's a couple of farmers that I watched that have like thousands and thousands. Well, I think they've got millions of subs now, but
I can imagine. Yeah, it seems like there's also like a big community around farming and like farming content. I mean, you can see Jeremy's show was like highly successful, and like I loved it. I watched the whole thing. I don't know nothing about farming, not really interested in farming, but I love the show. So yeah, I think there's like a huge community, especially if you're into that stuff.
I'll check it out, man.
Check it out. I think you'll enjoy that show. Clarkson's Farm, yeah, on Amazon Prime.
You know what? I'm gonna look that up
Anton.
on my phone right now. Clarkson's phone. I'm gonna look that up because I have Prime on my phone.
That's it. I just spoiled the rest of your evening. Enjoy.
We got
So, there's a question in my chat here, Anton, from
Sure.
hashtag hell. He said, ask Anton if he thinks any platform will ever fully take over YouTube.
Like another video platform, if it was ever going to take over YouTube? I don't think so. I don't think that
YouTube is pretty
there's
huge.
anything- Sorry, which one is huge?
Yeah.
YouTube is pretty huge.
YouTube.
It's pretty.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, that's the thing. It's like at this point, I don't think there's anybody that can come in and like overtake. Everybody knows YouTube, right? It's like part of our, it's part of our culture now, right? It's like things that like can you imagine life without YouTube, right? Like,
Did you know it started
Oh,
off as a
wow.
dating site? Did you know that YouTube was originally supposed to be a dating site?
Was
tell
it really?
Yeah, I tell it to everybody
Yeah.
when we bring up YouTube. Yeah, it was started off
Wow.
as being a dating site.
there you go.
Yeah.
See how crazy is that?
Yeah.
Right. And didn't they sell it for something like dirt cheap to Google back in the
Something
day?
like that. I turned it down. It was like $25.32. I should have taken it.
Yeah, that's
Is
the
that it
one.
right
Clarkson's
there?
Farm. Yep, that's it. Jeremy
All
Clarkson.
right.
Hey,
I'm gonna put
Anton.
it on my list, man. I gotta check it out.
If I could
But yeah,
get your
I mean, I think TikTok comes close in a sense of like people obviously wanted to, and you can see YouTube Shorts being launched by YouTube to sort of combat, TikTok and the fact that people do want to watch these little tiny videos. But yeah, I don't think there's anything that's necessarily going to overtake YouTube. That being said, I will say that everything has an end life. Like there's end life to everything, right? At some point, and probably not, in my generation, and probably not in the younger generation, but maybe, who knows, 50 years,
it'll get bought
100
out.
years from now.
Yeah, it'll
it
get
could be
bought
something
out by
else,
somebody and ran into the ground or sold and rebranded and whatnot.
Right. Like everything comes to an end, right?
Yeah.
At some point, people didn't think, back in the day, MySpace was going to go, away,
God,
right? And
MySpace.
that's no one even knows what MySpace is
I
except
know.
us old
I do.
geezers.
I had a MySpace back in the day.
Yeah.
I had a
Right.
MySpace.
Oh
Right,
my
so that's
gosh.
the thing,
MySpace
it's like-
was awesome, man. It was a really cool little social platform. That was really cool. I loved
The
my
first
MySpace.
one, really, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So yeah, so I think that's the thing. It's like you look at some of these things that you thought nobody would go away. You think back to I'm going to date myself here again. If anyone remember Netscape,
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I remember that.
the famous they had like 90 some odd % market share when it came to browsers back then. Netscape, when internet was sort of just starting out, Netscape
That was your Google
the
Chrome.
only browser.
Yeah, that was
right?
your Google Chrome. That was your
Pretty much,
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
okay. Like this was
Yeah.
a browser. Got you.
yeah.
Right. Then of course, it became Internet Explorer and then Google launched Google Chrome. But back in the day, like Netscape was the one and only browser that like 98% of all internet users used. No one knows what the heck Netscape is anymore, right? So I think at some point down the line, whether it's 50 years from now, 100 years from now, maybe 200 years from now, YouTube will cease to exist. But I don't think it's going to be anytime soon.
Yeah, I agree. Do you think? How do you think? Do you think? And of course, I'm super biased on this because I just created. Hey, JT the Philly Games, what's going on, man? With the help from some pretty amazing people, I made the website. Do you think websites are imperative to a successful gaming channel or anything like? I mean, not imperative, but do you think they help? Do you think is it a must for anybody who has a gaming channel to have a YouTube channel or a website?
Say they're necessarily like a must. Like if you don't have a website, it's okay.
Right.
But I definitely think that they add credibility to you, especially if you want to get more, like serious and have, as you sort of build up your following, if you want to have brands seriously look at you and seriously consider you. I think it just helps build your credibility. Like, yeah, I do have a website, right? And then it's obviously an opportunity for fans to maybe go and find out more about you and maybe whatever it is that you have on your website, right? Where they can learn more about you or find ways to connect with you, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, I mean, I think it's just like another aspect of your online presence, right? And I don't necessarily think like it's necessarily like a must-have. Like, oh my god, how could you not have a
Yeah.
website?
I think it's kind of like Instagram, where it's cool, where you can add stuff on your on your website that they might not see on your channel or your Discord or your Instagram. You know what I mean? It's an exclusive website thing. So I think that's important to do stuff like that to to bring
like
people
before,
coming back and whatnot.
Yeah, because I think you either treat it like, here's more or less, here's my online presence profile page, right? Or some people have set up like additional content, like exclusive content on their website, and they drive
your
people
studio
to their
tour.
website.
Your studio tour wasn't that something that you could only see from your website?
I mean, it's still on YouTube, but yeah, good luck finding it, right? Unless you start like digging through all the
I
playlists
couldn't find
and
it.
all that
I actually
stuff.
had to go to your website to see your studio tour, your last studio tour.
Yeah, so stuff like that, right? Or if people want to see like all my studio specs and everything like that, they can just go to the website, boom, it's all listed there, as opposed to like trying to dig around for, video descriptions or stuff like that, right? I think like that's a great spot to kind of have all
that's
that
another
information.
thing I was
sort of like key
inspired by you,
information,
right?
right?
That's another thing that you've inspired me to do was the website, and that what you just said, the studio specs and your computer and what you use and stuff like that. So it's huge. It's huge.
I gotta go update my website actually too, because I haven't updated it in a while. It's just one of those things where again, like you're sort of busy, it kind of falls off to the
I would
back.
love it
I'll
if you
do it
checked out
later.
mine and gave me some feedback on it. That would be
sure, I can do that. Yeah,
that would be an
absolutely.
absolute honor,
Yeah,
man.
I can do that.
You might build me a website. I might do that.
It's,
And again, it doesn't need to be like anything crazy, right? Where you're gonna be, having like a crazy, this website with all these pages and stuff. It could just even be like a one single page website, right? As long as it kind of captures like the necessary info, right? I mean, I think that does the job, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You get all the info on one page. Yeah. I mean, I have multiple pages, but they're I put everything in it: the 5M, SLRP, the Meet the Gamers, the LSPDFR, must-have mods, stuff like that. Look at Moon Demon flexing that 14-month membership. Go Pack Go. Damn, that Meet the Gamer production team is great with these awesome guests. I agree. Moon Demon Gaming, I agree.
Yep.
Firefox is from that. JT the Philly Gamester was talking about with the what you were talking about, the net.
Oh, the browsers.
The browsers,
Firefox.
yeah.
I used to use Firefox back in the day.
Me too.
Right?
Yep.
Firefox was like the browser for a while too, because no one really liked Internet Explorer. It was really garbage.
It was.
So it was like Firefox. You got to use. Everybody was using Firefox. It was like the Google Chrome, and now, of course, again, where's Firefox? Does anyone even use Firefox?
I don't. I'm a Google Chrome guy.
Does it even exist? I'm sure it probably exists still.
Oh yeah, it's still
but
my work uses it. Well,
there you go.
Yeah, they use Firefox, Explorer, and Google Chrome. But I'm a Google Chrome. I am a Google Chrome guy.
See, I use Chrome now as well, right? Just 'cause it's so well integrated. But yeah, Firefox, that's another good one too from back in the day.
I agree.
Right?
Man, it's always great. Wow, it's 7:00 already.
It is.
Flies
That's what
by.
I told you earlier. I said when Anton's on the show, we
It
have a great show, but
flies
the time
by.
goes by way too quick, man.
Well, we'll have to see
Too
you on
quick.
here in 2 more weeks.
Oh, perfect. I'm just gonna move in. I'll just become one of the hosts.
Yeah, just become a.
you know?
Yeah, I think we said that last time too. I think we should just make it happen. Just become. I'll step aside and let Anton come on and be the host. And
No, please. It wouldn't be the same without you, no. But it's always fun being on the show with you guys. I always enjoy hanging out, right? And I'd love to come back again, right? As you can see, the time flies. Time absolutely flies.
It really does.
Mm-hmm.
It really does. Yeah, I told you, it's going to be the time's going to be so fast with Anton on there because we just, it's a constant. All of us as content creators have the one thing in common, right? The GT5. So we have a lot to talk about, and when you're talking about that consistently, it makes the time go by. Plus, you're having fun.
does.
You're always a good guest, Anton. We always look forward to having you on the show, and
I still get nervous. I still get nervous when Anton comes on. Like
please.
I do. Honestly, I was telling
Honestly.
I was telling Cookies like, dude, when you were your prayers, CJ, I was telling Cookies like, I'm nervous, right? Like I still get nervous when Anton comes on the show. It's you're not a small fry, man. You're a large fry, dude. you're
Please,
you're a whole value
yeah.
meal.
It's more like an extra large, man. Like,
Oh, come
You're a
on, no, guys.
supersized
You guys
fry.
are too kind. Thank you. Thank you.
When are you gonna? So when did you say you're gonna start live streaming again, Anton? Because you were live streaming what, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday?
Well, no, for the past little while, I was just live streaming on Saturdays. I would do like Saturday at noon. I used to live stream on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Then I was live streaming Wednesday and
right,
Fridays
Falcon?
and Sundays. Then I was Wednesdays and Fridays. Then I was Fridays and Sundays. Then I was Sundays. Then or Saturdays. So yeah, I just kind of been like all over the place. But yeah, for now, you know what? Here's because this is what I said to my audience as well. Whenever I feel like it. As opposed to having like set in stone, like, okay, I'm live every Saturday at noon. If I'm up for it, if I want to do a live stream, let's just set one up and kind of go for it and see what happens, type of thing, right? Like I said, I've been wanting to try live stream on TikTok, so I've been actually thinking of maybe this coming week or something, maybe if I can get my act together, because I do have to reconfigure a little bit for TikTok, just again because of that vertical format. But yeah, I've been wanting to just maybe try some live streams on TikTok. I figure with 1.2 million followers, it's worth a shot. Let's see what happens.
Yeah,
right?
you should definitely do that, man.
I would tune in.
I'm just curious too, like how many people are gonna watch? Is it gonna be like 12? Is it gonna be like 32? Is it gonna be like 320? Is it gonna be like 32,000? I don't know, right? Like when you have so many followers and with the way that TikTok likes to push the content on the platform, I'm very curious to see if I was to do a live stream.
Do you think you'd be starstruck? Not starstruck, but deer in headlights if you had like 200,000 people watching you?
Yes.
Do you think like that's like, oh my God?
I'm deer in
like,
the headlights when I have like 200 people watching me on YouTube, right?
200,
I'm like, oh
my
my
God, I couldn't even imagine.
I know.
I look over at the dashboard. I'm like, that's what I'm saying. Like, 200. I remember one stream not too long ago. I think it was beginning of October or whatever it was, or sometime in September. I remember there was one of them. There was like over 700 people watching.
Wow.
I looked over at the dashboard and it was like 741 or whatever it was. And I didn't really say anything on the stream. I just kind of kept playing, right? But inside, little Anton inside was like running around with his hair on fire, going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, 700, oh my God, 700 watching, right? And I'm like sitting over here. I'm like, yeah, let's go get this guy. Let's, oh, hey, what's going on? So and so, right?
Oh,
but like
my
inside, I was
gosh.
like freaking out over 700 people watching. I'm like, because I don't think I've ever really, I think I've had some live streams that high, but it was like one of the higher ones. And it's kind of crazy that there's like 700 people out there watching.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
So,
I can't wait
I'm
to
like,
get
I don't
to
know,
that
should I be
level.
doing more on the live stream to entertain everybody? Like, well, 700 people. I don't know. Should I pick my nose, make it more interesting? I don't know.
Oh,
I think the most I've ever had watching me on a live stream, which, like I said, my biggest audience is LSPDFR, is I think maybe 60 people.
Yeah,
60 people. Well, I take that back. When I do giveaways, like live, when I've done
That brings up
giveaways,
people,
I remember on CJ Farms, I did a giveaway one time, and I had like 100 and something people watching me at that
Nice.
point in time. Yeah,
That was
so it
hilarious,
like,
JT.
but yeah, like regular live
Oh,
streams,
JT, let me
LSPDFR is my
hit
biggest
JT's
audience.
music there.
I've had like 60 people watching me at once, which is still huge for me, and it's really hard to keep up with chat when you've got that many people watching you. It's really hard to do. You know, it's really hard. So, but yeah, it's always awesome having you on the show, man. And I keep up with your content. Like I watch you quite a bit, and when I get time, I'll pop into your videos. And the thing about it though is, like when you go live during the week, it's usually around the same time I'm going live. So then, unfortunately, I miss your live stream because I love tuning into your live streams and talking to you and just seeing what you're doing and checking in and asking you if I can be a moderator and.
But he's gonna say no.
Yeah, but I love tuning in and watching you, man. So it's always cool having you on the show, man. It's always a blast.
Yeah.
No,
100%.
thank you. It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure, guys. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate the invite, and let's do it again sometime.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Who's gonna take us out?
Cooks.
You want me to do it?
It's all
Thank
yours,
you for
Cooks.
volunteering, Cooks. You're so
Everybody,
kind.
he is so
Sure.
kind. Everybody,
Sure.
I love y'all so much. Again, check out GMAntonZ down below, and we're gonna let Cooks run off with this right here.
All right, folks.
The energy,
what
I
is
love
this
your energy,
episode?
Anton. I love it.
Yeah, I know, right? Like I wish I
love-
had that. You know,
I
even though I
love
got the
his
coffee
energy.
right here, I still don't have it.
Anton has the
He said
energy
he
of
with the
a
coffee.
3-year-old. Like my 3-year-old runs around, I think of Anton. You know what I mean? Because he's
He
or
looks
my
like
4. She's
Leonardo
4 now. She just
DiCaprio,
turned
too.
4. But man, he's got the energy of a 4-year-old. It's crazy. It's man, where did all mine go? I wish I had that kind of energy.
I know, right?
I do,
But,
as you could tell from my slim physique. Ton of energy. All right, go ahead, Cooks. I'm sorry. Jeez, stop slacking.
Yeah, sorry,
Go.
Cooks. Go ahead,
It's
man.
fine. It's fine. All right, folks. This is gonna be episode 75. We're getting
75.
really close to the 100 mark. I don't know what we're gonna do yet for that, but that's. Who knows? Maybe I have Anton back on. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I mean,
Yes,
maybe.
yes.
Maybe.
Kidding. Excuse
Yeah.
You
me.
never know.
Maybe. I don't know if he wants to. You know, it's up to him.
We
That'd
guys
be
should,
awesome.
sorry to interject. You guys should have like a 100 special and try to bring in as many of your previous guests as possible. Maybe like a marathon.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That's a really good idea.
Oh. Okay, here's what you guys are gonna do. And you're
Hold
gonna
on,
love
hold
it,
on.
'cause- okay, hold on.
MD, Moon Demon Angel, and Crossy and Sneaky. I hope y'all are listening. Okay, shoot.
Okay, here we go. You're gonna have, right, like a secret door episode. Like have like 5 secret guests, maybe like your previous guests. And then people don't know which one they're gonna get until you open, secret door number 1. It could be, Anton, and secret door number 2. It could be another guest.
Kind
right? So
of
then-
bring you in after we already went live, after we already started the show. Kind of like who's gonna pop up, and then boom.
who's our first, mystery guest behind the secret door, right? And it's like one of the first, or one of the previous guests, right? So you can have like, 5 guests line up for the show. We all get, I don't know, 15 minutes each or whatever, 20 minutes each until you bring in the next one.
I like
But it's
it.
like, the next mystery guest
better.
is, Benzo, right? And then Benzo
I
is,
think to add to that, don't let us know. Don't
let
tell
know.
us
This
as
is what
the
I was
host.
just about to say.
Oh.
Yeah.
Don't
see, there
tell
you
us
go.
as the host. Nobody tell us. Nobody gets to know. Guys, don't be telling Jeffrey because I know y'all are behind the scenes with him. Don't tell him either. Don't tell none of us. Don't tell none of us. And I think that would be a good surprise. I think that.
There you go. Because then you guys get surprised when, one of us pops up on behind the secret mystery door, right? On the 100th episode.
What
there
makes
you go.
it even better is that we all have our screens in full screen, so it's just like the 4 panels. So we won't be able to see who's in the waiting room or anything. So
They would just
it'd be
pop
like,
up.
oh my god, there's Anton, or like we wouldn't even know.
That's
Yeah.
right.
He said, "Don't tell Jeffrey."
Y'all doing all that behind the scenes stuff. Don't be telling him.
Oh gosh.
It's got to be a natural. Like we want the
I am
natural.
down for that. I am
reaction,
one.
You know
Yes,
what I mean?
I am 100% down for that. We got somebody else coming on February 13th. That Sneaky won't tell me who it is. It's another big guest. He wouldn't tell me who. He wouldn't tell me Anton was coming on. He didn't tell me. I tried
Until
getting
it
it
was
out of him.
posted.
Yep. We had to wait until New Year's Day to find out that Anton was the next guest. So
Happy New
they
Year!
actually do pretty good with not telling me, even though I
Yeah.
ask. Yeah.
They don't even drop hints or anything.
Yeah, no. So, but I am all for that. Don't put it in the next guest channel that's in the Discord. You know how we have the next guest channel and they always post it a few days before or a week before?
Just
don't
label
even
it
do
secret
that.
guests.
Yeah, don't even do that.
Yeah,
I think
secret
that's
guests,
great.
like 5 secret
Just keep
guests
it
or
between the
whatever it
production
is.
managers. Just keep it between you guys. The production managers. Just keep it between you guys, and y'all make the plan. Y'all get the guests. Don't tell us who's coming on, and let's do it like that on the 100th episode. I think that's a
Yep,
good idea.
It is. Sneaky, make sure
Yeah.
you pay Anton for that idea, okay? Thank you.
I'll send you an invoice. It's
Yeah,
only
he-
$5,999.
That's it? That's it? That's a
Yeah, I
deal.
know, right?
That's a
Oh,
deal.
man.
All right.
But
Sorry, Cooks.
all right. No,
Sorry,
you're
Chris.
fine.
Go ahead, man.
You're fine. You're fine. All right, folks. That's going to do it for episode 75. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight with our amazing and nonetheless amazing GMAntonZ, folks. If you haven't checked him out, I don't know who you are. Mostly everybody knows who he is. I hope.
They know who he is.
Folks,
Yeah.
have
Oh,
an
yeah.
amazing night. And we'll catch you guys on episode 76. Take care, everyone.
See you,
Have a
everybody.
great
Bye.
night.
See you. Bye.
Take me back to the old dirt road
where Mama and Papa used to go. Let's sing all them songs from a long time ago and pine for them old days of yore. Well, let me run through the breeze like the leaves on the trees. Let me fly like the leaves when they fall. Well, let my mind go serene like a cool water stream that runs from the mountain so tall. Oh, take me back down the old dirt road. Take me home to rest where the mockingbirds nest and to cry through the green in the spring. Let's go back a ways to the old bygone days and the simple time we lived back when. Well, let the pull of the plow bring the sweat from my brow and the glow of the fire pull me home. Let me wind down my days in the sweet dusty haze. Take me back down the old dirt road. Oh, take me back down the old dirt road. Take me back down